last week the group left Adelheim to go check out a few of the other cities, and during which they were crossing through a forest and ran into an actual cannibal that pretty much fucked their day up. And once they finished off the cannibal and then hung out in the cannibal shack to heal up because he delivered an ass kicking and a half, they headed out and finally got to Vandenheim, where they first went to see the Lord of Vandenheim, hoping that, he was a decent and holy man, and whereupon they met his butler, who was like the slowest butler in the universe.
Yeah.
And once that happened, they went back to their inn room, whereupon something strange happened in the night.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
And by the time the night was when the group woke up, they discovered that they'd been doing things. Sex things.
Not me.
Ooh.
What we had ourselves some sexy time.
But it appears it was kind of non-consensual.
What?
Because you guys don't remember it.
So how did Tamir get here? Because we haven't even explained that.
He showed up like a day later. Well, actually, he shows up that morning. He shows up that morning.
I think Tamir needs to at least take a... Hold on. I think Tamir at least needs to take a solo trip through the woods to deal with actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf too.
He's so dead, we torched the body.
It's only fair.
It's kind of hard to do that when we set his body on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, we saw him put his head back on. I'm sure as fuck we can get him to come back alive after burning himself to
He's
death.
not Freddy.
I don't know.
Just because
That is
tonight
pretty
is
close.
Friday the 13th does not mean you're going to be dealing with Jason.
Yeah.
I think that's going to become a real live horror movie soon enough. Actual
What?
cannibal Shia LaBeouf. The movie.
Eh.
I think someone would probably make that movie.
Directed by Michael Bay.
No, that would be kickstarted.
Right, directed by Uwe Boll.
Because God knows Shia LaBeouf would probably get upset.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf would definitely kickstart it if you like this rules.
Hmm.
Shia LaBeouf is fucking crazy. He would do it, and he would star in it.
Yeah. As himself.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the next morning has come. Oh, plus let's not forget that apparently one of the young women tried to warn you that something was going on. But unfortunately, you guys couldn't really help her. Because you guys got lured into...
A trap?
Yeah. And so you woke up the next morning sore and not sure what had happened.
Yikes.
So with that, let me switch back to the map. Okay, I am currently rebuilding the Vandenheim map, so next week it will probably be different. But it still will have the same basic structures, same people, all that good stuff. It's just going to look better, and it'll be multi-story. But anyway, because just in case you guys want to climb on the roof, let me find Tamir, because he's missing. Oh shit. There we go. PC tokens. There we go. And we even had an extra room for you.
Ain't that precious?
Tamir. Show nameplate.
Let me read.
I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I was about to say, is Nurgle gonna next say, with that accent? Is Nurgle gonna say next that Tamir ain't right?
Yeah. When you guys put in your sheet, it makes it really easy for me to make sure that all the correct inputs are in there. So it goes AC, CMD, hit point. Well, green is AC, blue is your CMB when I get done with this. CMD when I get done with this. So, and red, of course, is like always hit points. So the question is, since it's morning, what does anybody choose to do, if anything?
I am going to be I'm going to be walking out of my room.
You weren't in your room. Wait, did you come back?
I'm gonna go take.
You guys
a
woke
piss.
up in your rooms.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna go take.
Hi, Helga.
Hey.
Because that's what everybody does after a long night of weird sex.
You don't really remember the sex though. All you remember is going to bed.
I know. I had a joke ready.
I wanted to restate that everybody remembers going to bed and nothing more.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
I'm
What?
a little fuzzy on this. So, didn't those guys wake up outside?
No.
Okay. Because I distinctly remember them being outside.
They were outside before we closed the curtain and moved on to the next morning.
Okay. Okay.
I would like to know. I'd like to know. Why do I feel like hammered shit? Like I've been up all night.
You.
I didn't drink much last night. Myth, I don't think Undead's character's pregnant now.
Okay, I'm only seeing my own character. I'm not seeing anybody else on this map.
Yeah, I only see mine.
Me either. I'm seeing the map as black.
Okay, I see you. I see Siegfried. I don't know where everybody else is, but there's not much light in this room, so.
I see my. Wait a minute. I'm just gonna move this. I'm gonna put it back. I just want to look around real quick because I'm trying to see. Okay, you guys are not in my room. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm back in here with my dog.
Okay,
Anyway.
let me turn on the global illumination. Give me a second.
We need
This should help.
Yeah, that's a whole lot better. I can at least see in the room.
Yeah. Sorry about that. That was from last night.
Why is it when I went out to take a piss, I was peeing like I was having sex all last night?
The fuck? Is that a thing? No, seriously, I'm asking, is that a thing?
No, I know the reference he just made, but I'm not dignifying it.
It's also, dudes can tell the next morning because they're like, what the fuck? Why am I sticky and why does my bladder ache?
Enough.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear anymore, please.
No, it's an actual thing.
You asked.
I did ask. I didn't ask for specifics. Holy shit.
No, that's not specifics, honey. If you want specifics.
No, I really don't. This is what I'm saying.
I could give my internet wife specifics if she really wants
internet
them.
wife will ask for a divorce.
He gets to keep all the money.
You should be able to move around. And you should have, when you click on your little guy, you should see your armored class, your hit points, and your CMD. The only one that is not in.
Oh, there he goes.
Which
there
one
he
is
goes.
the blue one?
Speaking of which, that reminds me, I got to pull up my character sheet.
The blue one is CMD, and I don't know why yours isn't showing up.
I was gonna say,
I don't even know why mine is showing up.
Can I have an I love you?
Yes, you can.
Why does the character sheet look all weird?
Because you touch yourself.
Oh, y'all do that shit.
Alright.
Strikes are going on.
Yep.
Oh, it's because I had it focus on my core. I had my defenses on shadows.
They gave Russia a couple of days to get it to move their shit around and then carried them out.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyway. Here you go, baby. headphones on
So,
I can really stretch them further.
does anybody know what happened last night?
I have no
I was
idea,
so
and it's probably
tired.
best I don't know. And if you have any idea, I don't want you to tell me.
I don't know what the hell happened. That's why I'm asking you.
And
Hell, let's ask the dog. I'm sure he can answer and tell us.
I can barely see on the map.
Don't pick on my baby.
Get better glasses.
Why can you barely see? I've double checked. Let me check your site again.
Let me reload this.
Oh shit! There you go. Now you should be able to see.
As in every time we run this stream, technical difficulty.
I forgot to click has sight on your character. Does that help?
Yeah, I see it now.
Alright. There's a little check thing
Cure
for has
my
sight.
ass.
Alright, Melgon. Where's Melgon and his wife? Of course, I can't remember his name.
You know, you're lucky I can't talk out loud about stuff like that right now, Ramen.
You're damn right.
Okay. Now I see everybody.
Good, good, good.
Alright.
Tamir finally showed the fuck up. No, we did it last week, Destroyer, but it took like a couple weeks we had to take off. Because we were fucking exhausted and we had
real life and
dumb shit. I think I canceled last week because of the new job and me just being too goddamn tired. And just stressed out. Okay. So, one of you guys lead the way here because I don't know where to fucking go with this.
Well, if I do recall correctly, you were talking about going to see the Lord up on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's morning, so we should go see the Lord up on the hill, and I'm sure by the time we get there, and by the time the butler gets to the gate, it'll be about the afternoon. So we should go.
Everybody decides to pack a lunch.
Yeah.
All right, I go ahead and stop moving. Go ahead and stop moving your tokens.
Okay.
You should be loading a new map.
Okay, cool.
This is, you don't need to put tokens down. This is, as you can see, the redone Vandelheim will have a wall and a gate, but that is the path up to the manor. And you can see why there's switchbacks, because you should be able to see the cliff walls.
Okay.
And since the cliffs are about 30 feet high, so the manor does sit overlooking the village.
So we're doing a little bit of fast traveling.
Yeah, but I just wanted you guys to see what it looks like.
Oh, okay, I see. That's pretty cool.
Somebody's doing measurements.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see how far he was walking when he was walking back.
Hang on.
Of course you were.
Let me fix something.
25 feet isn't that far, man.
He's old. Give him a break.
No.
So how old is this butler anyway?
There, that's closer. Now do your measurement.
How old is this butler anyway?
It looked probably when God laid down the dirt, he went and got the shovel.
Damn.
Because you guys ring the bell, and oh, thank God, he's got his cloak and his boots. And it is raining this morning, surprise, surprise. And he closes the door behind him, turns around, walks down the steps. You know, one at a time, you know, with his cane, all 12 steps. And then begins to head down the walk toward you, tapping his cane as he goes, slowly moving down the walk.
He's Winston from Tomb Raider.
He does pause to light his pipe. Thankfully, the edge of his cloak makes it so he has an easy time lighting his pipe with the match, which is something you guys think is kind of neat. I mean, it's a stick of wood that he struck on his thumbnail and it produced a flame. That's kind of handy looking. Mm-hmm. Then he puffs his pipe for a minute and looks around like he's not quite... Then he remembers where he's doing. He started to turn back toward the house, but then turned back and started heading toward the gate. And he walks past the first pair of topiary animals. And that'll tell you how far he's gotten. And he keeps walking through the rain. And keeps walking.
I think I just aged at least 4
And
years.
keep walking. And he's halfway in between the topiary animals.
You know, would you like us to meet you halfway? Because, I mean, we can. It's okay.
He's halfway in between the topiary animals. Oops. And, which he does see you, and he's like, I'll be right there. Pardon my rushing and hurrying.
No, it's not like it's close to noon already.
And he keeps right on going. That's weird. It shouldn't be showing black at the bottom, but it is. Fucking map. And now he's almost to the second pair of topiary animals. No. It's okay. Do you need it on? Okay.
Yeah, I'd like it on.
Alright, but, he's passing the topiary animals. He's almost to the gate. The four of you are like, oh my god.
I told you how to pack a lunch.
And then he finally reaches the gate, and he looks at all of you and puffs on his pipe and goes, oh, you were the four youngsters who wished to see his lordship today. Well,
correct.
you're in time for brunch. Please follow me
You sure it's not?
into the manor.
You sure
Walk
it's
this
not?
way.
And then we will have brunch
What
with
do you mean lunch? By the time we
his
get there,
lordship.
lunchtime. Probably dinner.
He does dig in his cloak pocket, pulls out the keys. You've never seen anybody turn a key like this. I mean, you guys have seen professional, jailers that try to really ramp up the tension by turning the key slow to tease the prisoner. They could learn things from this man.
Oh god.
And he finally unlocks it and slowly opens the gate and says, please, come in. His lordship is waiting to have brunch
Oh shit.
with you and her ladyship.
Well, let's not keep him
And
waiting.
you do enjoy pancakes, do you not?
Yes.
Excellent. Follow me to the manor.
I tell you what, we could, if you want, we could walk ahead and just meet you right at the front door.
No,
You're an ass.
we should have proper decorum.
Okay, so
Fine,
we'll
fine.
be eating lunch then. Okay, I got you.
So it's step, stand there. Step, stand there.
Mhm.
Step, stand there. Finally, you get to the door. You feel old now. You don't know how, but you feel like you have managed to age during this walk. But he does open the door slowly. And on the other side is a woman that makes all four of you step back. Helga immediately ducks her head submissively because this woman looks like every caricature of a headmistress from a very, very strict nunnery. I mean, her black clothing is buttoned up to underneath her chin. She's got the high collar that comes up to her ears. Her gray hair is pulled back in a bun so severe that while you're looking at her, you see one of her strands of hair snap. You're not sure if she grooms her eyebrows or simply demands that they grow that way. Which she looks and goes, "You must be the guests for breakfast." Or brunch, rather.
Yes.
Well, it would have been breakfast, but your butler takes a little while.
He does move with unseemly speed at times. Please, leave your boots here and put on slippers. I despise the clattering of boots on wood. And this wood is imported all the way from Bavaria.
Very well.
Alrighty then.
And I get the feeling that Siegfried's thinking in the back of his mind, hopefully they got something in my size.
Yeah. She's even more intimidating because, you guys are like 6 foot tall. Dad here, Helga here is pretty tall for a woman. This woman stands at least 6'3", 6'4".
Damn.
So she is definitely...
Okay, here's the most important question. Does she have a ruler?
No.
You're thinking the penguin.
Okay, we're safe. Okay, we're safe for now.
Yeah, she's basically, wow. Oh, good. I've even found a picture of her.
Oh no.
Oh Lord.
Let me guess. Put it in the Skype and I'll post. I'll show it to the stream.
All right. Oh, come on. Don't be that way.
Just let me love you.
Yes, let me love you. And some of you may have guessed exactly who she looks like.
Oh God, I can't think of who that is too. I remember that picture.
Is that Cloris Leachman from Young Frankenstein? No.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Oh!
Frau Blucher.
Because I kept thinking, walk this way from,
Yeah.
So, wow, she was young as shit.
Yes, it is.
Everybody likes Young Frankenstein. I still prefer Dead and Loving It.
I like Young Frankenstein better. But now, once you have changed and hung up your cloaks and used the little whisk broom she gave you to basically sweep the mud off your pant legs, only then does she motion at you to follow her while she's carrying a 3-candle candelabra. You're like, this might be the gloomiest place I've been in my life.
I like it.
Even your footsteps sound very hushed, and so does the clinking of your armor, because I know you guys are paranoid people, so you're not going anywhere without your armor.
Mm-hmm.
I like it in here.
But you do notice it is almost obsessively clean.
That's a nice switch.
And you move in silence through the hallways, through what looks like a rather large drawing room, and into a surprisingly open breakfast nook. For those of you who don't know what it is, that's a small room that's part way out of the house, where the edges that are not in the house are paned with glass. And it's pretty much where you sit in the morning sun. It does face east. And there is a tired-looking older gentleman dressed up in very nice, official-looking formal clothing. There is a woman wearing what's obviously high fashion, but looks a little restrictive.
Hmm?
And they are sitting there, and the man stands up and says, "Please, guests, sit. But brunch will be along shortly. I hear that you wanted to see me, and my house is always open to Knights of the Church."
Thank you. Thank you for seeing us. We all had some questions about this place.
Very well. I answer what I can.
Why is it raining so much here?
It's spring.
It has not stopped raining since the day we arrived, and it's been at least 2 days now.
Yes.
Well, as I said, it's spring.
Mm.
And it must have been hard to get up.
But the village... rain does help with the village. It ensures that the soil is ready for planting. The villagers are most industrious.
Interesting.
But if I might ask and not be too nosy, what brings knights of the church to small Vandenheim?
Well, we were just recently at Adelheim for over a month or so.
And how is Adelheim?
Oh, it's a hell of a lot better since we arrived there.
Ah, good. I heard they had troubles. Something about an evil witch?
Well, we managed to get rid of the weird spider infestation problem they were having.
Ah. Which the woman shudders. Pretty Dad, you know this is pretty theatrical. She's really good at her theatrics, but that's to be expected.
Mm-hmm.
And well, we got rid of their spider problem. Unfortunately, we couldn't get rid of their haunted cathedral citadel issue. They've got a problem with the witch thing that you were just mentioning. We were a little unable to take care of that one. Little above our pay grade, honestly.
Well, hopefully soon you can rid them of such terrible hauntings.
Yes.
On the way here, we damn near got killed by some type of cannibal.
The woman does titter at the profanity.
Forgive my companion. We've had to deal with a bit of a near-death experience dealing with a certain creature on our way here.
Well, I heard there was a foul beast roaming the woods to the south, which is why we hadn't heard from Adelheim.
Yes.
Well, if the creature we had to deal with and the foul beast are any similarity, then that shouldn't be an issue anymore.
Good.
All that's left of it is ash.
Excellent. So how can my house help Knights of the Church? Which, just then, the door creaks open, breakfast is served. And it's the butler slowly shuffling forward, pushing a cart.
Food.
Yes. Pancakes and various jellies and sauces. Yum yum.
I am hungry after all. It's been a while since I've had a good meal. Morgana's cooking is something to definitely miss.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Among a few other things, but we're not going to talk about that here.
Whatever you say.
I do.
So what I'm here to ask you here, sir, is any strange things that have been going on around here lately?
There is strangeness here and there. Nothing too bad.
Let me be a little more specific, if I may. Have there been any strange occurrences happening after sunset?
I do not know. I leave the villagers to their own amusements after sunset. He looks a little nervous, and the woman is kind of looking down as she's eating. I close the doors to my manor at sunset and allow the servants to enjoy their indulgences, such as jocularity and dancing and fiddle playing.
Indulgences. Is this a common practice in this village? For these indulgences at night?
Rousing fiddle playing, and my father was not a man who suffered the more pleasant things in life. He believed that spices on food were temptations of Satan. So once he passed away, suddenly I allow the villagers at nightfall to dance and sing and play instruments and tell jokes and stories, and I permit them to go to one another's houses in relaxation. I no longer hold my fist over them as my father did.
Okay. So your father was sort of a very strict individual.
Well, he believed himself a scholar of the holy word of God.
The Lord was never very much against having a good time and dancing. And I'm gonna cut to the chase here. Since we came here, we stayed the night, and we seem to be having a lapse of memory loss since last night. After going to bed, we all woke up in feeling very strange, very tired still, and fatigued, even though we had slept all night and woken up in our beds. As if we were up all night, but we can't explain what it is we possibly did the entire time we were up all night. Could you know anything about this?
No.
You leave your subjects to their indulgences.
Yes.
Have there been any? Have your servants made gossip of any indulgences that may have been a little extreme?
I do not pay attention to gossip, as the good book says. An idle tongue speaks the devil's words.
That may be, but in our experience, every bit of gossip has a sliver of truth. It's just a matter of finding out what that truth is.
Yes,
Nope.
just a moment, please. Sorry.
Well, shit.
Okay, I'm back.
Yes.
All I'm saying is that stories
Like-
do not sprout from nothing.
It's just like the urban legends and myths we hear all the time. There's always a little bit of truth and reality behind them.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, he's definitely nervous, but you're not sure about what. He seems relieved by this train of discussion. If anybody wants to try a sense motive to get any idea what's up.
Let me see what I've got in there.
Oh, I'm gonna try it. I got a 7 on that, so.
I got a 3.
Damn.
All right, 11.
What'd I get?
You got 11.
You got 11.
I ain't got shit.
Siegfried got 9. Let's see what Helga and Tamir get.
11.
11.
Hold on.
11. This is. Hold on.
Tamir,
Keep going.
you're on.
11. This is something new. I wish I had 11 too.
4
Sense motive.
sense motive.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Sense motive.
From there to here, from here to there, funny things are everywhere.
You're not quite sure why he seems a bit prevaricating, but obviously he's a good and honest man.
So I'm going to take a perception check to kind of glance around the room to see if I find anything that looks a little off or a little suspicious and odd about
Go ahead.
Alright, let me see here. BAM!
Yeah, wow.
I think I will try and follow suit.
There we go.
I perceive the shit out of that.
So, sir, how long you been living out here?
Perception.
Well, all of my life. Except
All your
for
life.
except when I joined the Second Crusade.
Oh.
Yeah. You remember the Second Crusade? What was your profession in the Second Crusade?
Oh, wasn't any big deal. I mean, we pushed back the Moors of Latveria. Drove them into their swamps and back into their hovels and, brought the word of the Lord to them.
Did you use your trusty sword, your shield, your steel?
A bit. Yeah, Siegfried, going after 20, you notice he is definitely uncomfortable by this line of inquiry. Helga, one thing you notice?
Hmm.
Not very much of a woman's touch around here on all this.
Right. Well.
Yes, come in.
So he's basically. So, have you ever been to Munich?
Munich. No. That Munich does not ring a bell, my lord.
Strange.
So they beat the crap out of Dr. Doom's ancestors. I guess so, Nis.
Yes. Is that where I grabbed that out of? Because I grabbed that.
Latveria is Dr. Doom's.
I went to say one L
home.
and said another. Oh, Lamortia. That's what I meant to say. Lamortia. Damn it. Yeah.
Ah.
I meant to say Lamortia.
Whoops.
Yep. Oh well. So we'll just retcon it that I said Lamortia.
Yeah.
I was fine with Latveria. I thought it was kind of funny. I was about to say, so you took down Lord Doom.
Well, I dislike talking about it. You notice his wife is kind of looking away and has her face hidden by a fan. He goes, we left Stangenrod and marched upon Lacour and drove the Moors from New Furstenberg and forced them against the Sleeping Beast Mountains.
Perception. Nope, nothing.
Things, then I came home.
A curious coincidence. The four of us happened to have met during the crusade.
Aha.
Yeah.
Well, you understand why it's not appropriate to speak of in front of ladies.
I can understand, but this woman here has been by our side ever since in the crusade itself.
My gentle wife, it gives her the most dreadful vapors to discuss it. Can't believe I whipped out vapors.
I knew that's what you were gonna say. It gives her the vapors. Sorry.
Where are you planning to go from here?
Well, we decided we were gonna stick around for a little while and see if there was any weird, strange things going on that you all might need a little bit of help getting rid of, purging,
Oh no.
It seems like everywhere we go, there's some type of strange things going on that.
Well, the devil seeks to bar the way of God's servants.
Really?
And that's
In what
probably
way?
why you find such strange things barring your way.
Well, we don't truly usually go seeking these things. They found us, and now we're out seeking them, hoping to at least help the good people around.
Being proactive.
Indeed.
It's nice to see that Mother Church is being a bit more proactive in its activities.
I mean, but we're still very cloudy about this indulgence thing that had occurred the night before. It's almost as if like I said, it's almost as if we woke up, but we had been up all night and didn't realize it. It's like we went to sleep and didn't rest at all.
How odd. It's very strange.
I've never had any issues like that in my time. Being a man who served in the Crusades, fought in many wars, and has spent many hours up late at night and up during the day. When I sleep like a rock, and I wake up feeling good. So, waking up feeling like I ain't slept at all after a full night's rest is very strange to me and my colleagues.
I can see where that would be strange, my lord.
So is it just you, your butler, and your wife here who live in the...
Well, I have a few other servants. You met the headmistress.
Yes.
There's the stable boy. And, of course, my wife's maid. She's more than likely doing laundry. And you've met, of course, my manservant, Manfred. Get off me.
Believe me, we have met Manfred.
He's elderly, but I couldn't bear to, I don't know if he'd know what to do with himself.
I know he has to prep dinner at least 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right?
Yes, yes, but he is an excellent cook.
I'm sorry. I'm having a little laugh here.
Sense motive.
Okay. What are you checking for?
What are you saying?
Damn. He's telling the truth, and he seems more comfortable with this line of discussion.
You don't have any children? You don't have a daughter?
No. Unfortunately, I spent my youth with the Second Crusade. And my wife, well... Which the wife just blushes.
Oh, God. That poor wife.
She can't bear children, can she?
Well, that's not something we should discuss, my lord. I mean...
Really shouldn't, not at the breakfast table.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to actually say that.
Sense motive.
Okay.
You didn't roll sense motive, you rolled spell
Nice
check.
try!
Yeah!
I will give you the 20, though.
We gotta cast us some spells tonight.
Alright.
Yeah, it's definitely an uncomfortable topic of conversation, and she looked a little appreciative to, Helga for saying that's not something we discuss at the breakfast table.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm a little coarse when it comes to discussion. I've been through a lot, and especially the past few weeks have been very traumatic, very strange. Look, when you face what we've seen, I don't know how much darkness you've seen in your life.
Thankfully, since I returned home, not that much.
If I may.
Well, hang on. Tamir.
Mm-hmm.
You did see the old butler shuffle by in the hallway outside, and he's carrying a tray with covered food on it. He's obviously heading somewhere, but you didn't get a really good look at him.
Okay. I guess I'll do a perception check.
Well, that was with a natural 20. You managed to spot him. Barely.
Okay. Barely?
Yeah.
How long has it been since you took ownership of this mansion over your father?
Oh, merely 10 years now?
10 years.
Not
during
long.
The way you describe him, it sounds like you had some disagreements about his methods of managing his village.
Yes, he treated the commoners as if they were all prone to fall into sin at any second, and commoners, me and him disagreed quite often. He held a rather old view of the commoners, where I hold somewhat more of an enlightened view, that commoners are, of course, possessed souls.
You said that he fancied himself a scholar of the Word of God.
Yes, my lord.
Was there anything that he made mandatory during his time?
Well, of course, the villagers, they couldn't visit one another in their homes. They were all forced to be in their homes half an hour before sundown, and he would at times send his guard to check to make sure his orders were being carried out. No woman and man would be wed unless he gave permission. And, well, which his wife makes a clicking noise with his tongue, and he suddenly goes silent. And there was issues with that also, my lords, and...
One more thing.
All right. I'll answer if I can.
During his time, were there ever attempts of uprising among the peasantry?
No, he didn't allow. His guards would hand out their farming utensils and then supervise them working in the fields. The peasants weren't given any opportunity for uprising. Plus, my father said, an empty belly quells the devil's task.
Your father seems to be a bit of a very strict individual.
Well, he's passed on into the arms of God, so it's up to St. Peter to judge him.
And
All right.
you never observed any of the peasantry after hours.
No. I feel that my father spent enough time looking over their shoulders.
I have a request, good sir.
Of course, if I can help.
Do you have an extra couple of rooms in the keep?
Well, I mean, there's... If you wish, I mean, I would not close my doors to the Knights of the Church, but... I mean, it's not the finery that is Knights of the Church you're used to.
That's not an issue. We haven't exactly had the greatest lodging for the past couple months.
Okay.
No.
Not a problem to me
Far
one
be
bit.
it.
Are you guys are the three of you bothered by it?
No.
I have a question.
Yes.
So how do you manage to live through the Crusades?
Luck.
You're right.
Luck in the good Lord's graces.
The good Lord's grace.
I don't think my father expected me to survive, but I did.
I have another question. We seem to have lost during our travels and the incidences we've occurred to see and face. We seem to have lost, or I seem to have lost my copy of the Bible. Would you happen to have an extra copy lying?
Well, of course. President Manfred, will you give him an extra copy? Give him one from my father's study, if you don't mind. Which Manfred gives a slow bow, and you have never actually literally heard a human creak before.
Sorry.
How old is Manfred?
Well, he was my father's manservant when my father was a boy.
And so he outlived your father.
Yes.
And he's close to outliving you.
Well, Manfred does pay close attention to the writings of God. Perhaps it is his humble service and his attention to the Lord's word that has blessed him.
Understandable. Yeah, just before I go to bed every day, I like to sit down and read a few passages from the Bible, though, and it's been painful not having it lately.
Yes.
I understand, Sir Knight.
Wow, Frederick is so full of shit right now. I'm sorry.
So, as I said, we were just wondering if you wouldn't mind us lodging here for a couple days. I mean, we can go back out in town after a couple days. Of course. It seems that things are a little wild out there and a little too crazy for us. You know, when we rest, we like to rest. When I sleep like the dead. And I don't know about these two, but I sleep hardcore.
I can vouch for you sleeping like the dead, given how many times I've had to effectively ring the biggest bell I can find to wake you up.
Hey, you sleep like rocks, I swear. Both of you do. Tamir, I don't think he ever sleeps. Sometimes we gotta make him go to bed. But, yeah, we just, we don't even mind if we need to share a room. That's perfectly fine. I understand if you want to put have a separate room for, Helga here.
Of course.
It's obviously not appropriate to have the lady staying in the room with the men.
Bastards.
Which he goes, well, of course, I can put you up in the old women's quarters.
We would prefer that we stay close by.
Her ladyship, and then, there is a guest wing.
Well, I understand. It's just we would prefer to stay, if we have to stay in separate rooms, to stay close by. We are a very tightly knit group.
Well, there is, of course, a distance between the ladies' quarters and any quarters that the men would have, including guests, but, of course, not only will I give her a key to the door to the ladies' quarters, well, he leans forward and says somewhat conspiratorially, like his wife can't hear, and I'll give, of course, the three of you a key to the ladies' quarters.
Whoa.
So that in case
definitely.
you wish to study with one another.
Absolutely.
It looks like he's being secretive about giving you guys a key to the ladies' quarters so as not to offend his wife.
Okay.
Who's been pretty frickin' silent as she eats.
I was gonna see if he's being honest about his motive in giving us the keys. I mean, this whole getting together to pray at night is...
Well, what's odd is he's talking about a second crusade, and to you guys, that's a little odd.
Yeah.
Well, so the Second Crusade. You see, we came from the Crusades, and
those were.
I can't say that I'm wholly familiar with how the Second Crusade went. Could you tell me all about it?
Well, the Moors invaded Lemuria, and they came on ships and quickly began sacking the town and burning port villages, and of course taking the women and children into slavery most vile. And the Pope called for knights and the nobility to come help push them back, and we engaged them in battle several times and eventually pushed them back into the ocean, where they drowned amid the wreckage of their ships.
And exactly how long did the Second Crusades truly last?
Oh, nearly 20 years.
Wow. You fought the whole 20 years?
Yes. My father insisted I not come back until the job was done.
Wow.
That's hardcore.
How old were you when you left out there?
24, my lord.
So you came back at 44 years old, battle-hardened, fighting war with a wife.
Well, yes.
It had to be hard to readjust to normal living out here, right?
Yes, my lord, it was. And my father, he often didn't... Well, I didn't discuss what went on. My father didn't believe we went far enough, and I found discussing it with him an exercise in futility.
Futility or frustration?
A little of both, if I must be honest, my lord. Please don't think I'm speaking ill of the dead. He just didn't understand when enough was enough. He thought we should have gone across the ocean and treated their people as ours was. But even the Pope had ruled that we'd done enough.
Did the Pope absolve you all of your sins from the crusade?
Yes.
He should have realized that crossing an ocean to fight a war is an exercise in a quick death.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, he got his military knowledge and acumen from treaties written by other men.
In other words, he never had any real combat experience himself.
No.
So, what during your time in the Crusades, during your travels, did you come across? Have you ever come across any supernatural things? Any threats? Anything unusual, extraordinary? I mean, not
minions of Satan.
It may not be even dominions of Satan. Just very strange happenings.
Something that doesn't make sense.
Well, her ladyship closes her fan and stands up and looks at the headmistress and says, "I'm ready for my bath." Which the headmistress nods and they leave. You're like, wow, she did not want that discussion.
Mm-hmm.
You He goes, once she's gone, he goes, at times there was things that occurred. I mean, the Moors brought, of course, their witches. And, well, let's not forget their practice of sacrificing Nubian slaves to call up dark African gods.
Well,
Wow.
so I take when you have to discuss the paranormal or the supernatural, it's a little disturbing to you, the headmistress there.
Well, that and my wife, she prefers not to discuss the workings of Satan in our house.
I understand.
Mm.
We're just investigating.
Being that we are knights of the
course.
church, it is our job to investigate and ask the hard questions that many do not ask. Ross, can I ask you to please turn the rain off?
Yes.
It's been running for a while.
Yeah.
Well,
Let me.
you could go into
Yeah.
your volume mixer and lower it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do
I
the
didn't-
whole Strange Things soundtrack and play it in the background just to make it more creepy.
I'm not playing the Stranger Things. I'm playing the artist on YouTube known as Miu. He does a lot of horror, creepy stuff. It's pretty cool. If you watched my video on any of my recent video on Innocence Unknown, you'll know his work because it's the exact same music I used in there.
Okay.
Anyway, back to this. Well, it just definitely seemed a little like she was a little shaken by it.
She doesn't like me discussing it. Not in her presence. She feels that just
Have you
speaking
ever-
of the devil can bring his attention.
During your travels, have you ever encountered any wandering demonic forces, maybe that evoke thoughts of lust?
Well, the Morris witches used whatever they could, including, I heard of an entire cavalry regiment that fell to, well, homosexuality and bestiality due to Morris witches.
So you're saying that they're using anal sex in order to open a portal to hell?
No. I'm saying that, of course, because the knights fell to bestiality and homosexuality, they all had to be crucified and then their bodies burnt to purify them. But Morris witches were known for using men's baser.
Morris witches, huh?
Moorish.
Did you you've never seen, but have you ever bared witness to these sorts of antics?
Not antics of bestial lust, no. No.
Would you say that there's a good possibility that maybe some of these demons of lust could have followed you all back here?
Me?
I mean,
Doubtful, my lord.
or that one could have manifested within this town?
It's an odd thing to ask, but no, I don't see how.
Never witnessed anything similar to those incidents. Did you ever bear witness to anything paranormal in this town that was similar to things you may have experienced out in the Crusades?
Oh, no, nothing like that.
Never had.
This town is remarkably peaceful, and my father's passing while sudden was quite peaceful, and his guards all retired.
Are the guards still living out in town?
Oh, no, nobody knows where they went. They took their money and left.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Why would you say they took their money and left the town? What is there something?
Well, I gave them their
Stop them.
severance pay and told them to go seek their fortunes somewhere else, and they all left.
None of them protested the idea of leaving the village.
No, none of them did.
I don't believe
I
him.
think they were glad to see it go. So you give me a sense motive there, champ?
You're damn right.
I'm giving a sense motive as well because it sounds a little odd.
They took their money and left. I call bullshit.
He's trying to avoid this subject, but yeah, you're pretty sure he's not telling the truth, and it's a well-polished lie. He's been saying this for a while.
I'll be right back.
I find it odd because oftentimes I've seen servants, guards, that when they retire or get their severance pay, they don't exactly like to leave the town they've been living in all these years. They usually come settle down because they plant themselves in the ground quite well in the town that they're staying in, that they're guarding and helping and aiding. They tend to find women in the town that they marry and raise a family with often.
Perhaps without my father's guidance, they just simply felt that there was better opportunities in, say, Nordheim.
Nordheim.
Or Hohenfeld.
Okay, so who are your new guards now?
Oh, I have no need for guards. This is a peaceful little hamlet.
You never fear that something could attack your keep, or that there could be a thief among the townsfolk?
Well,
there's relatively... You don't experience any forms of criminal activity in this town ever at all?
Well, the most we ever had was a chicken thief, but it turned out to be a small boy who thought it was fun to take the chickens and throw them into the trees. A simple beating sufficed.
Did he choke those chickens?
No, not that I believe.
Sorry, I couldn't help. I had to ask. Okay. Well, I just find it strange because I've never seen every guard just up and leave after receiving their pay and being relieved of duty.
I think many of them were saddened over my father's sudden and completely foreseeable death.
What kind of reputation did your father really have around this town?
A hard and firm man who believed in following the word of God and
motive.
Also, God damn it, Ramen.
What? I didn't see anything.
You know what you did.
What did your father die of?
Sudden illness.
No.
Fuck no. Oh, God damn it!
A sudden illness, you say?
What the hell?
Yes. But I mean, everyone knew that he was old, and sooner or later he would suffer an illness.
Would you say?
And he believed doctors were evil, against the word of God.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
So who did you call to help with his ailments?
Well, nobody. I mean, I took care of him on my own.
How much training do you have in the field of medical care?
Well, none. I mean, but taking care of him was fairly simple, my lord.
Oh, I understand, but surely you have to have a degree. I mean, you served in the Second Crusades. I'm sure you've had to aid multiple times with the wounded and the sick with your time in there.
Oh, no. It's because of the Moorish magic. If the wounds were too bad, it was cared for. Yes, and it was made sure that your soul went to heaven.
Magic, huh?
Well, no, I mean...
Alright.
Nothing like such as that.
You know, I mean, I really appreciate you bringing us in to have a conversation, to talk with us today.
Of course, my lord.
Discuss it. I would ask and request, would you mind showing us, or having your servant show us to our quarters? We only request to stay a couple days, and
of course, my lord.
Well, unless of course you three have anything you'd like to ask the man or talk to him about, but I think we've taken
we.
Actually, I did have a question. You mentioned women's quarters and separate quarters. Did you used to have a lot of servants here?
Oh, my father kept more servants, but me and my wife, we don't really need many servants. I mean, we're not simple peasantry, but
Right.
I mean, by and large, a few servants is all we really need.
So
You don't feel
the
the need
servants,
to.
the servants you don't employ anymore, they went back to the village to live?
Yes, many of them. Well, some of them did go back to, I think it was Hohensfeld or perhaps Nordheim.
Oh my god, these guys are full of shit. Hold on. He bathed in their blood. I know what he did.
Can I? Do I notice that everything is dark in here? Or just
It's not dark. He's sitting in the sunlight.
I'm gonna.
This little sunroom is very open and airy.
Mhm.
But the interior, like the hallways and stuff, are very, very gloomy.
I want to see if I notice anything extra, anything unusual around the room or the area. Besides that, well, like obviously I ain't gonna see shit.
You've always been creeped out by topiary animals.
Yeah.
So, how did you meet your wife?
Oh god.
Oh, you know, the usual way.
Was it arranged marriage or?
Yes.
Oh, it was arranged. With what
Yes.
family? What was the other? Who was the other family? Were they good friends of the family?
No, it was arranged by the regimental bishop.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
And I take you two have had a very long, lovely relationship.
Yes, my lord.
All right. Well, as I said, if you don't mind, I would, if your servant could show us to the quarters that we'd be staying at for the next couple of days, and
Yep, he rings the bell and goes
won't
back to
take
his
too much more of
pancakes.
we'll leave you to yourself, and yeah.
After a bit, Manfred arrives.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, and do you have an issue with us walking about the quarters?
No.
About the home? I mean, is there any areas that we're just not allowed to go to that you would forbid us to be allowed in?
No, my home is completely open to knights of the church, my lord.
Understood. I appreciate it. I just don't want to overstep any boundaries.
No. Mine is a godly and honest house, my lord.
Aye.
Desley, he's so full of shit.
I wasn't gonna say that first time, but yeah, he's so bullshit.
You do see something really weird.
Do tell.
The females' quarters are, there's a big-ass iron door.
That connects it to the rest of the house, or...
Yes.
Uh-huh. So are we
mean,
locked
it
in,
looks
or...
like- Yes, but you have a key.
No, I mean, was the big iron door to keep us locked in, or to keep everyone else
Yes.
out? Okay.
Everyone else out, according to Manfred.
Yeah, I think he's full of shit, too.
That's very odd.
And you notice there's at least a half dozen doors in this hallway, Dad.
That's a lot.
And
of
when he
rooms.
does open the door, this isn't just a room. This is a suite.
Oh, holy shit.
And Manfred is like, I apologize, but, well, I could send to the village and see if any of the young ladies are willing to act as your maid, or do you require such things?
No, I don't need a maid. I'm capable of brushing my hair. But I am kind of curious. How many of the women are back in the village? Like, did all of them go and leave
All of
town,
what
or-
women?
The women servants that left here.
Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, it's hard for me to
Are we
say.
walking with Helga right now?
No, you guys are still eating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pigs.
Because this is women's quarters, and you guys wouldn't be allowed anywhere near them.
At least not while the wife was awake.
And that's a little odd, because women's quarters went out of fashion, 500 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've come to realize there's one other question that I'd want to ask.
Okay.
My lord, have you ever heard mention of House Tepes?
Of course.
Hold on.
Oh my god, the wife is from House
Sorry
Tepes.
about that, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we'll take a short break while he does that.
That's fine.
God damn it. Oh fuck. We're gonna die.
For those of you that haven't tuned in before, I do not use standard Ravenloft because, you know, everybody knows about it. We are currently mixing Charlemagne era. They're from Charlemagne's era. Those of you that know your history know that the old man's from Richard the Lionheart's era. Vlad Tepes, of course, is from the First Crusade. And so nobody has actually heard of it, one another.
Well, since we're on breaking out of character, there's something fishy going on with this motherfucker.
Genius, think genius.
Missing people that have gone on to live on a nice farm where there's plenty of room to run.
Destroyer, somehow, I don't know, I'm going to say I don't know if Ralt's ever read the book that you were talking about.
Which book?
Dead Sky, Black Sun.
Okay,
No.
never heard of it.
So he probably does not know that, but I wish that he would go read that book because he would fucking love it.
What?
Dead Sky, Black Sun is a 40k novel written by Graham McNeil. It's
Okay.
it's from the Ultramarine series, all written by Graham McNeil, mind you. He did
I read a bunch of the Ultramarine stuff.
well, he did Ultramarines, Nightbringer, and he did another one. He did a whole series, and he also crossed it over with fuck, what was the name of it? It was an Iron Warriors storyline
Oh, wow.
about a character named Hanzo.
Oh God, Hanzo.
And but when they did Dead Sky Black Sun, the thing was at the end of the previous book, the main characters, Pausanias and Uriel Ventress, they were
Uriel I'm familiar with.
Yeah,
I remember the last thing I read about Uriel, is he the one that got on the black locomotive?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Is the story where he got on the black locomotive that took them to Menringard, which is the home world or the demon world where the Iron Warriors live.
See, when I read it, the next book wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
So I had no idea what happened next.
Nurgle,
You need to read that book. It is an amazing novel.
Nurgle, let me just say this. Someone has done an artist's interpretation of the Daemon Kulaba.
Oh, I know. The Demon Kulaba is so strange.
It's not strange, it's fucked up.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Hanzo
That's what I loved about that book, though, is how fucked up it is. And I love how after that, the book after that was better, too, because the only reason they went to Menringard was they were sent on a death oath. They were kicked out of their chapter, and they were told,
Yeah, I remember
you
that.
cannot return until you fulfill this oath, which is to go to Menringard and destroy this evil place. They wound up fulfilling the death oath, which is why they had to face the Iron Warriors. And the Iron Warriors, not the Iron Warriors, but the Grey Knights. It was what was it, like a Grandmaster or whatever? They had to face them him in combat. And he got defeated. They both got their asses kicked. And Pausanias got knocked out first, right?
Right.
And the other guy, and Uriel got his ass beat. So,
Well, don't tell me because I want to read the fucking book, jerk ass.
well, no, I got to tell you this part because it's great.
You're as bad as fucking Leon.
This isn't this isn't that big of a spoiler because you already know they get back to the chapter. This is just
No,
when
I
they get
didn't.
back to the chapter. The Grey Knights have to fight them because they're like, we got to make sure you're not tainted by chaos. So they lose, right? And Pausanias wakes up and he goes, "Did we win?" He's like, "Did we win?" oh yeah, yeah, we won all right. Cause even though the Grey Knights beat the shit out of him, he's like, oh yeah, we won. He's like, I knew we could take them.
All right, you guys should have a new map loaded up. This is, I'm still working on it, but this is how Vandenheim was, Vandelheim was supposed to look.
I can't see nothing yet.
You can't see
all I
yet?
can see is my mini, and it.
I don't even see that.
Oh shit, I gotta check your guys' site real quick.
I can't even zoom in or zoom out yet. But I highly recommend you go read the story Dead Sky Black Sun, and then read the book after that. Now I haven't read the rest of them. Because there's the book after that is when they're facing the Tau, and they just got back to the chapter, and it's like most of the chapters a little weary about them because they're like, yeah, you went right into the middle of straight up 40K hell and back.
Did it load all the way in, and can you see?
Yeah, I can see the whole town now.
Okay.
I can see part of the town. I still can't zoom in and zoom out.
That's weird.
Wait, there it goes. Yeah,
Now some stuff should be blocked.
I can see the whole town.
You can see like inside and everything? Inside the building?
Wow. I can see inside the homes too.
Huh. I gotta fix the settings. But yeah, that's the first floor of it. That's the first floor. And then there's the second floor, which, oh, fuck, you guys don't have minis on, so never mind. But yeah, I mean...
So what, we're supposed to be looking at the first floor of the keep?
No, that's the first floor of the village. The village was supposed to be a little bit bigger than it was.
Oh, okay. I see.
And I was using pre-made parts with already furnished, so it doesn't eat up so it's not, the map isn't too big and it doesn't eat up too much.
Yes, Wolverine, Stern Jesus does know that I touch myself.
Yeah.
And it's only when I think about you that I touch myself.
Okay, let's see. Now, when I turn on dynamic lighting, it should go back to how it's supposed to be, which is...
I take JT is still going.
Yep.
Damn, JT is taking forever.
I'm sorry, guys. Zeke kind of contacted me.
Okay, how does it look now? Any different?
I can see the immediate area around myself.
I can see.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
So you can see the immediate area around yourself. Okay, so yeah, it did update and everything.
Back in the town in the bedroom.
Yeah, but it's supposed to basically look a lot different. It's bigger. It's got more stores and more people. But because this is if you notice, there are major spots on the map that you guys had. Which, why don't we show that off? Since I don't think, just in case anybody hasn't seen it yet, this should bring up the what little map of the region you do have. So for those of you that weren't here last weekend and didn't see that, if you look, you can see actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf on the map.
Yeah, I can see that.
I was muted.
I do see that.
Yeah.
I just spilled freezing ice coffee all over myself. Okay.
So we're going to add.
Nope. You were in Vadel. You left Adelheim. You went to Vandelheim, and you're heading to Nordheim eventually.
Okay, I do have a question now. Are we back in the town, or are we in this guy's house still?
Oh, you're still in that guy's house. I was showing off the map.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure because.
Okay, so we see the map.
Yeah,
that's a very nice fucking map, by the way.
Yeah.
And here is the new one that he's going to give you to help you travel. This map is a gift from his lordship for when you head to Nordheim.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's a map that he brought with him from the Crusades. And I figured you guys would like that. I was talking to Dead while I was building that.
That's pretty cool.
I hadn't seen the finished product though. That is very fucking nice.
That's your art?
It's pre-built map pieces that I put together to make the map.
Oh, okay.
No, I can't draw with shit.
So I gotta admit, right now, the whole time that Raltz is putting all this out, we're hearing a creepy version of In the Hall of the Mountain King on piano.
The king of the mountain.
Ooh, there is a screw up on the map. I'll be damned.
Well, unfortunately, we can't hear Sabotage's version of Hall of the Mountain King. Or Apocalyptica's.
Oh, such good versions. Apocalyptica is amazing.
So we'll call that the Throat of the Mount.
Have you ever seen the Heart Twins? You ever seen them on YouTube?
Yeah.
Look up the Heart Twins. They do some amazing work. They play everything on harps,
Yeah.
and it sounds beautiful.
I heard of them before. The Heart Twins are pretty good. They actually played some interesting. Like I remember they did the Overwatch. I think it was the Star Trek one and the.
I know. I saw them. They did some Metallica music actually.
They did.
Okay, so I guess
they're also on Facebook.
Yeah, they're awesome to listen to. They do some really great work, as well as the the vintage jukebox.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of like vintage, like 40s style covers of music. They did a beautiful cover of Nothing Else Matters. It was amazing.
Yeah, because they do a lot of harp. Playing through the instrument of the harp is interesting.
And look up Puddle. If you're gonna watch the vintage jukebox, look up Puddles the Clown when he does Lord's Royals. Amazing singer, beautiful voice. No, I mean seriously, he's got a beautiful voice. You have to listen to it. It's amazingly well done.
Who are the ones that do the recorder music with the shitty recorder music?
I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, everybody's back. So,
yeah.
All right, I'll throw you back onto that. The external map of the village and the manor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry, I did not do the manor because there's reasons. Number one, it would be a huge map, probably bigger than Adelheim, and I would have to detail every room.
Okay.
And I don't want to give you guys 40-minute load times.
Okay.
So that's why I did not do a map of the manor. And to top it off,
I was wrong, by the way. It was Postmodern Jukebox was the name, folks. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
This map is 4 stories, and the tower, you can see the tower on the corner? The tower is 7.
Shit.
So unless you want me to make... And plus, look at how big the fucking estate itself is. I mean, just from the front of the keep to the gate is 125 feet.
Wow.
So that's 25 squares. And then the manor has multiple wings. So it's either I can build the manor and you guys can explore it on the map, or we can just do it the way we're doing it now.
You know
I prefer the
I'm
latter.
fine with this because...
Let's just do it the way we're doing it now. Is fine with me.
You guys don't want to take 2 hours to load.
It is just that that's a lot of work when we don't know how long we'll be here, so... No.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's a lot of work. But anyway, so Helga, you actually have seen old women's quarters? And this really does remind you of it, although there is some flares you've never seen before. Like, usually these old women quarters, you're up on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
And you have a balcony off your room. You have 2 of them. One is a balcony that has, well, the mesh is a little tattered, which Manfred apologizes for the abysmal state of the mesh. But there is actually iron bars that kind of make the balcony into a cage. And then both the balconies off of your suite are made into a cage. So and you notice something really weird. The outside of the bars have barbs on them to keep somebody from grabbing onto the bars and climbing up.
And we're on the 3rd floor, and what the fuck?
Yeah. Obviously, somebody took the protection of his womenfolk very seriously. Where the doors in the suite are actually nice. They're engraved, they're inlaid, they're not that heavy. But holy shit, the door to your room has got to have an iron core. I mean, it's counterweighted. And it's got a thing where you can slide the thing back and see who's at the door.
Oh god, one of those little eye hole, not holes. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen this. Holy shit.
Which Manfred, and you've got a breakfast nook. You've got the balcony is off. The balcony is off of a little reading room. You've got a bath chamber.
Oh, holy shit. Guys, I love you, but I think Helga is just leaving her ass and gonna go to work as this lady's handmaiden. Fuck y'all. I'm sorry.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Yeah.
Helga's a little old. Well, I don't think Helga's that young and nubile, so yeah, I think she's pretty safe. But yeah, this is a nice ass room. This isn't camping in the rain after being attacked by a fucking cannibal. Yeah.
She does have a point.
Not that I'm bitter about not going in the cabin.
Don't get used to it. We're only gonna be here a couple days, at least to now. To my knowledge, we're only gonna be here a couple days.
Okay, I got it. Is Manfred still there? Because I want to ask you something.
Yes.
Manfred, why are there bars on the balconies?
In case anybody has any untoward thoughts of stealing you and doing indignities to your person, my lady.
Helga is so not responding to that shit, but yeah.
Actually, you should ask him. Has something like that ever happened before?
I was just about to.
And you should sense a little motive out of him.
You know,
Not since I was a young boy.
I'm getting to that. Okay.
Not since I was a young boy, he says.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I should be quiet. You are a woman. You can handle yourself.
Same as Hunting Force.
I'm sorry, my
She don't need the patriarchy bearing down on her.
I'm sorry, my partners.
She doesn't?
Only say that the Ravenloft. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, I had.
Hey, do those corners look all right to you guys? I mean,
Yeah, it's fine to
it's
me.
a little. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. What's supposed to be in those corners? Is it just emphasizing its
Shadows. Yeah, it's to emphasize the shadows.
Okay. Okay, so Manfred, this is really specific ironwork, though. I mean, you've got barbs on these bars, and
Well, of course, in case somebody tries to climb up.
Okay, I was just about to ask if anybody has climbed up before, because this is kind of much if it hasn't been done.
Oh, once when I was a boy, some men from Nordheim
Of course.
came to steal wives.
I didn't know that was a thing.
His lordship's father drove them off
Okay, now
with his knights.
Yeah, hold on.
Well, his lordship's grandfather, sorry.
Sounds more like they were staging a rescue. I'm gonna roll a sense motive. Woo!
Nicely done. He's not lying.
Okay. I just thought it was
He was confused for a second about whether it was the current lord's father or grandfather, but he's pretty sure it was the grandfather.
Okay.
You never get that feeling when something just ain't passing the smell test.
Well, he's being honest, unlike his boss. So,
Well, I mean, it's like, okay, he's being honest as to his knowledge of what he knows.
right.
It's a likely scenario that he in his mind, it was explained to him that they were coming to steal the women, when in reality, there was a rescue being
Yeah, that's
staged.
what I think.
I'm getting look, out of character, I'm getting a lot of Elizabeth Bathory style fucking vibes.
Yeah, I said that earlier, yeah.
You guys are so suspicious.
Are you suspecting another Murder She Wrote type of
We're
plot line?
we're suspicious, and whose fault is that?
Yeah!
No clue. You guys are just really suspicious today.
It's not today.
Again,
It's ever since
whose
I've
fault
met you.
is that?
Probably mine.
Yeah.
It's you got to realize there's also a mystery behind it too.
Yeah. Well, I promised you that this wouldn't be your typical, oh look, there's a goblin, let's kill him and take his treasure.
Yeah.
Hey, I have
because
nothing
I do like murder. I do like murder type of mystery type of things too. It's not like
But But you are right. You guys are sensing a good sense of it ain't all copacetic here and here at all.
It ain't all kosher and.
Okay, wait, I got one more question because I kind of, I'm really fucking drowsy, so I'm not tracking as well.
Okay.
When all these people supposedly left, they had left the manor when the father was there or when the current owner took over?
After the father died, when the current lord took possession.
So he dismissed them? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to double check on that. Okay. You know what? Should I ask Manfred about that? Or
I think personally, I think what you should do is let him show us your quarters, and then all of us need to meet up after later that evening or later the afternoon there. To discuss things alone so that we can sit down and chit chat because there's a lot of there's a lot of weirdness going on, and I think you need to explore since we can't come into the women's area.
Oh, you can after dark though.
You see, what we need to do is we need to conversate together so we can formulate what we're going to do about this place because something's not right.
Okay, I'm gonna let Manfred go and take you guys to your rooms, and you can have a chat with him, and I'm gonna look around.
Okay.
And we get a sense of perception here while you guys talk to him. Let's see, where's this freaking screen? Okay, perception.
Alright, so Manfred arrives back to show you gentlemen to your quarters in the guest wing.
Holy shit.
Nicely done. Wow. And, the guest wing is fairly large. I mean, Manfred stops at the stairs and goes, "Would you all prefer to be on separate floors, or would you like to be on the same floor?"
The three of us
with
adjacent rooms.
We would like to all be on the same floor. Is it possible here in the guest room that you have a room with 3 bunks in it so that we can all sleep in the same room?
No.
It's a manor.
Very sorry.
All right, well then, we'll take. We would like to be all next to each other if you don't mind. Like I said, we're very tightly knit group. We don't like to be separated very much. We understand with our lady friend, but
you wish.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference for which floor that you stay?
We'd like to stay on the same floor. We'd like to all stay on. We'd all like to stay on the same floor and stay in the same floor that Helga is staying at.
She is staying in the women's.
I understand. We want to stay on the same. We want to stay on the 3rd floor. Okay, how about the 3rd floor? Let's go with the 3rd floor.
Oh my God! You've never seen anybody move this slowly upstairs. Because he'll bring his foot up and step on the stair.
You know, we can take directions if you want. I mean, we'll park ourselves there. It's okay.
Oh my God, this is
beautiful. Of course, I will do my duty and show you to your room.
Wow. It's gonna take them 20 minutes to get up there. Tell me what I perceived in my room.
Lots of stuff for saints, including a few saints that are dressed a little more modern, more closer to her ladyship style of dress than what you're used to. You do recognize some saints, and then it looks like there's additional saints beyond. It looks like more people have been canonized. Maybe it happened during the Crusade. There's more than a few Bibles. There's several depictions in the sitting room right off the door, because there's the door, and then the sitting room, and then your private area, and then the bedrooms attached, the bath, the changing room, blah blah blah. There's like 6 rooms attached to this suite.
Holy crap!
Now, in the sitting room right off the door, there are pictures of stern Jesus. There's a very comfortable chair where you can actually recline back. And above, that obviously is a lady's reclining couch. The pictures of stern Jesus are staring at the chairs across from that couch.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
It's not. It's obviously not intended, that the stairs leveled on you, but on any guests.
Okay, so wait a minute. This room is a single person's room? Because with that many rooms, you would think.
It's a single person's room.
Holy fuck! So that
There is.
Damn.
There is copper and there's copper inlay, brass inlay. It's a poster canopy bed with sheer cloth to keep out insects or preserve your modesty. There's changing tables and changing screens. This is inordinately wealthy.
Okay, so that wouldn't be a servant's quarters, even though it's in the women's quarters. That would be like a guest, or
this would be a guest noblewoman.
That's what I was going for. Okay. Okay. Damn. Don't I feel special?
Okay, so you guys finally reach the room. You're like, oh my god, I'm getting older. And Manfred unlocks each door slowly. And then turns very slowly with his back creaking and hands each of you your key to your room.
Ralph, I swear by all that is holy that snails are looking at Manfred and saying, would you hurry up?
Yes, he's slow and old. God, he's old. But he does wait. He does slowly wave at the rooms and says, your rooms, my lord. Please enjoy the hospitality of Lord Vandelheim's family manor.
Thank you.
I will take my leave so that you may
it's okay.
Examine your lodging.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Go.
And then he begins shuffling away. You're like,
go sit down.
You've never gotten tired from watching somebody else walk before.
My God, that man doesn't. I'm going to feel really bad if he kills over on the way back to his quarters. I'm going to feel really bad.
Nowhere near you.
Something strange about him. I don't know what it is, but it's something strange.
He's still alive.
He's unnaturally alive.
No, I think he might be the most normal thing in that building.
Shut up, you're not even in the same room with us.
He does remind you guys of the really elderly bishops in Rome that, you guys used to joke about were, there when Moses led the people out of the desert.
They're so old when they first heard a joke, they fell off their dinosaur and broke their rock diapers.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those old guys that you're pretty sure, was around.
God said, let there be light, and he lit the candle.
Yeah. It's just, oh my god, he's old.
I was going to say that I think he's probably dead. It's just taking so long He's
older than Ralts.
Yes. Okay, so you guys look at your suites. Your guys' suites are the same. Plenty of depictions of stern Jesus, but the pictures are a little different. Like, there's one of Jesus flogging the lepers out of the town. There's one of Jesus beheading the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one of Jesus burning all the moneylenders alive.
Well, that escalated quickly.
You're like,
Jesus, that's scary as fuck, Jesus.
That's stern Jesus, all right. Don't try to do your merchantry in my father's temple, and to prove a point, I'm gonna burn you all alive in front of the town.
Remind me not to ever piss off stern Jesus.
So I thought Jesus would.
I think I begin to understand. I think I'm beginning to understand why the previous owner of this mansion had his very strong opinions.
One thing the three
gave
of
you
notice
that
is,
idea?
Wait.
There are armor stands. There are armor stands for your armor. There's pegs above the headboard for you guys to put your swords in. This room is very martially inclined.
And yet he never got in a fight.
That is a man. Sorry.
That
I mean,
is a man.
it seems a bit odd to you guys that as martial as this is, and as loath as his lordship is to talk about his days with the crusade, this room is very much set up for a visiting knight.
Well,
The interesting thing, though, is below your windows,
Oh no.
that's a lady's garden. As a matter of fact, you can see her ladyship out there with a parasol feeding the fish in the fountain, accompanied by a young maid.
Is that unusual in a keep? I mean, for a keep to be designed like that, to be able to look out the window and see the ladies' yard.
It seems a little unusual to you. It seems more like something you'd see in Paris, or maybe in Rome, than in the middle of Nowhereville. Because let's face it, you guys are in the middle of nowhere.
we are in the ass end of Western Europe.
Yeah.
If anything, I would think it'd be weird that the men's rooms would overlook the women's garden. But
Well, this is obviously a garden because you can see, number one, the statues are very chaste. Wherever you can sit down, there's no alcoves in the garden. There's no shaded places. There's nowhere that is not visible from your guys' balcony.
Those secret meetings.
Yeah, this is definitely to prevent. It's designed to prevent secret liaisons and all of that. It's just, give me sense motives, the three of you, while you're looking out the windows.
All right. It's motive.
I don't know about you guys, but there's something really strange going on around here.
14.
Well, Frederick, you know a lot about women. Tamir, go ahead and give me a roll.
Okay.
Sense motive.
I know a lot about women, of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so I'm going to give you a slight bonus on the sense motive. JT Vega, even though he's more of, Tamir, even though he's more of a monastery order, and he didn't really see women that often when he was in the monastery, all three of you are suddenly very aware that both her ladyship and the maid are expecting you to be watching them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's mildly creepy.
It's almost as if they're out there to be seen.
Yeah.
Like they're putting on a show.
Yeah, like they're showing off their bass riches.
No, I wasn't
Well,
gonna say that.
more like it's more like
Trying to show how normal they are.
No.
more along the lines of the men are watching us giggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much a romance novel thing.
Get the
Yeah.
sense motive. I'm gonna roll a perception to see if there's anything really off about the way they're acting.
It is off. Anyway, I have a question though. How old is the wife? I mean, the guy's in his 40s.
In his 30s.
The guy's in his 30s.
No,
No,
the guy's
he's
in his
44.
40s. The wife is in her 30s.
Okay,
Okay.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's not crazy.
Usually, there's between a 10 to 5 year difference in age with man and a woman back then. Do you get any? You get the feeling that they know we're watching them.
Yes.
It
is strange.
I think they might, and something about this is not passing the old smell test.
There. Now, how do the manor grounds look now?
Nice. It's a nice contrast.
Is it like, so it's daytime, right?
Yes.
We had lunch. We just had lunch a little while ago.
You had brunch.
Brunch, excuse me.
Of course, it's closer to noon after Manfred takes
Yeah.
you to your rooms.
That's what I was thinking about.
I want to talk with Helga, but we should. We're definitely gonna have to explore this place when they're asleep. So I would highly recommend everybody get a little bit of rest for later tonight. But I definitely want to explore, and this is going to sound bad, guys, but I want to explore the ladies' quarters.
course you do.
But like I said,
Something's off about all this.
You do notice that this is set up very martially. I mean, right down to going through the dressers, you find armor care kits and blade care kits.
Huh. So he's hosted knights before.
Plenty of times, it seems.
Either he or his father, because he had to get those treatises from somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, he said he had plenty of guards back in the day. I mean, it's possible that this is stuff left behind from them, but
unless they had a guardhouse, but I don't see that.
I'm gonna look at one of these kits, and I wanna see if I've noticed that it's been used. How long it's been since it's been utilized?
Okay.
18.
Not bad. Judging the oil's cloudy enough and settled enough, the honing oil, you'd say 15 years? 15 years? Between 10 and 15 years? It's been a while.
Okay. What do you guys think? I mean, our conversation with him, he got really dodgy about a lot of different things, and I find it very strange how strict his father was and how relaxed he is compared to him. You would think that he would continue the same traditions.
I think that he had a few exchanges that were more than just words.
It's a little strange too that none of the guards stayed in town.
Well, his father did die of a sudden and very obviously going to an unsurprising illness.
That too.
Yeah, that ain't passing the smell test.
Look, I'm not going to say the man murdered his father, and I'm not here to play judge, jury, and executioner upon that.
Totally say it.
But there's definitely something weird going on here. And you hear how he said he likes to shut everything off to the outside world at night.
Mm-hmm.
And he allows the peasants to indulge.
Damn, I was not there. Okay, I'm going to say that the four of you have met back up out back so that you're all part of this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you're sitting out back in a nice... actually, you're sitting back there in the ladies' garden, and you notice there is a fenced-off area where the top of the... It's one of those wrought iron fences that come up to about mid-chest level. Only the points that are on the top of those railings look more like the blades of spears than anything else. So it's obvious that you're allowed to sit in here and watch the ladies move about the garden. But if you try to climb that fence, you're going to be unhappy. But when he give me a wisdom roll, Dad.
Oh, God.
You would have noticed it. They wouldn't have.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it back up. Scrolling. I don't think I have wisdom.
Wisdom is one of your attributes.
Okay, hold on.
Yes, you have wisdom. All characters have wisdom.
4.
Did he call me a whore?
No.
4.
CORE.
Oh! Finger mic is shit. Plus, I'm getting a weird echo from something. Okay. Yeah, I found wisdom.
How many fingers do you have on your... Ramen, how many fingers do you have on your hand?
You know what? Don't start.
I'm starting.
I hear an echo. And it wasn't there before.
So your wisdom check. Now my screen's froze out. Of course it is.
It does. Oh, wait, this.
There it is.
I noticed,
17.
I noticed those. Okay. 17. Wisdom. Let's see. 21.
Do you want a wisdom check from all of us?
Just from her. Just from her due to reasons.
Okay.
Okay. The guards are gone. The women have left. Most of the women have left service. We didn't see that many women in the village, and we didn't see any children.
And the majority of the women and guards moved away from the town itself.
And his wife doesn't
They
have
didn't.
children.
They didn't. Yes, and they didn't settle in the town. I'm confused. And considering last night, we don't remember anything. We feel that we slept. We know we slept, but we don't feel like we've rested.
Yes.
And like I said, he shuts off the entire keep from the outside world in the evening and at night.
He locks himself in and allows the townspeople to run around.
Dad, did you find anything strange with your quarters?
It is really secure.
Okay.
And
I have a feeling.
what?
I have a feeling we need to prepare for the night.
Yes, but how do we prepare for the night? Were we gonna have the issues that we had before? I think tonight I want to stay up all night. All of us. So I believe the majority of us, I believe we should all go back to our quarters, rest up for the evening, and then get up for the, or we'll rest up, get some sleep, get up for the evening, and we all stay up.
How about we look something up in the book? Probably.
Oh, that's another thing. I'm gonna pull out the Bible that he gave me and look at it to see if there's any difference between this Bible and the previous Bibles that we've been finding.
No, it's the same. But
Okay.
Whoever owned this spent a lot of time reading the more you know what I mean by the bad parts of the Bible?
Mm-hmm.
Old
Yeah,
Testament.
it looks like they spent more time in that. Less time about Stern Jesus' forgiveness and more time about
Stern Jesus being a dick.
yeah, or the older guys being a dick, like when Moses decided that when a unicorn poked Noah once too often with its horns, so he had them all drowned.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, guys, I strongly suggest do not try to sneak under my room under any circumstances, because you're going to seriously hurt yourself. At least not climbing the balcony.
I wasn't saying that we would do that.
I'm
I just wanted
saying,
to
you
describe
get
the
the idea.
quarters.
You guys plead fatigue, so you don't have to go to dinner, which you get, food in your room.
Yes.
Probably carried
lordship-
very, 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 very slowly.
His lordship seems to accept that you guys are fatigued from your long travel and grateful to be out of armor. So that's not an issue, which is kind of nice.
Just probably relieved we're not going to question him anymore that night.
Yeah.
I highly recommend we don't wear our armor tonight and walking about.
Why?
Because we may have to be a little sneaky. Kind of hard to sneak around when you sound like a bunch of clattering metal together.
Well, mine's
Yeah.
leather, so I'm probably wearing my stuff, so...
You're gonna walk around barefoot and naked. Just because I say so.
Get the fuck out of here!
I'm kidding.
How's that map starting to look, guys?
Yeah, it's filling up. Wow.
It's starting to look a little bit more.
It looks more villagey, not so barren. It's nice.
It looks more like somebody actually lives here.
Yeah,
Do bring your weapons with you, though.
of course.
Just wear your lightest part of your armor as you can.
Oh, I forgot to ask.
Okay.
Where's my dog? Is he back in the village, or did we bring him?
Me. I'm gonna say you brought him, and he's down in the down in the kennels and stables.
Okay.
Mhm.
Damn.
And I get
Actually, what's funny is now that you're in a ladies' room, you're allowed to have your dog, and he's kind of luxuriating in the fact they brought him a big dog cushion
Oh, my baby.
to lay on. So
Well, they don't have kids, so they'll probably
Helga,
spoil the pets. Yeah.
you've seen those. That's a war dog cushion.
A war dog.
That's one for the really big. That's one for the really big, the big, huge. My jaws can crunch through a bull's neck. War dogs.
Well, my dog is pretty big, so.
It's a little dusty, but somebody obviously took the time to dust it off.
Strange. Okay.
So,
All right.
So nobody has dogs anymore in that place? Where are all the dogs now? Okay, I'm shutting up.
Helga, cast Prevent Weinstein before sleeping. Alright,
I
so...
got my dog at a crossbow, I ain't worried.
Can we take 5? Because I'm going to go use the restroom, and then when we get back, we could just reconvene that, we've just slept or whatever.
Yeah, so
Unless
you
Rose
relaxed
has
and
anything to interrupt us with on that.
We'll go with you meet. You'll be meeting up. How does it sound that you guys meet up at the?
At night? Outside?
Oh, that's okay. Okay, then you can just meet up in her room for nightly prayers. Is the excuse you're using?
That works. If we're allowed to do that, that works.
Nightly prayers is
Nightly
yeah,
prayer.
That's the thing. That's all.
All right. Well, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go use the restroom. Let's just take 5 and yeah.
Okay.
9
All right,
hours
then.
later.
Dead. Her ladyship did send you something for you personally.
Oh.
Since you're going to be having nightly prayers with the gentleman, she sends you of all things, a dagger.
That makes sense.
And the maid giggles and tells you to be careful with it because she shows you the wax seal around where the hilt meets the scabbard, and says, just nick them a bit and then step back and everything will be okay.
The fuck?
And then she giggles and withdraws.
Okay, what can I test on this thing? Because that's fucking weird. Do I know what this is, or do I know
you've actually seen these. You've seen these. Some of the older nuns carried them.
Uh-huh.
This dagger's poisoned. This dagger is poisoned.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I really want to be careful with that. I'd likely drop it on my own foot. What the fuck was that?
Designed. What the hell was that?
I knew that wasn't Heather. What the fuck, man?
No, it wasn't.
That's Nurgle.
It's designed. It's designed to protect your virtue, so to speak.
Sorry. Shit, I thought you were getting cracks. Helga is maintaining that she is pure, no matter what you may have seen during the Crusades. Sorry,
I ain't judging. I'm just judging.
Don't you judge me, you man.
But one thing you notice, Helga, is this is extremely. This reminds you of the abbotess's quarters.
Yeah.
At the abbey you're at. Most of the elder nuns and assistant abbotesses and visiting noble women would be happy with this room, which is kind of weird.
If Helga weren't so holy, she'd say, kill this guy and take his house.
You do find something at the end of the hallway.
Oh, do tell me.
It's a sitting room designed with enough space for easily a dozen women to lounge about and chat and pursue various idle pursuits of idleness, like crocheting, knitting. That's where you find a copy of that map. The map I showed earlier of where Nordheim and all that one.
Yeah.
You find a copy of that. You also find a book. near it that has lists of noble and merchant and peasant family names. There's got to be hundreds of names in here, along with what villages they lived in and when they were born, and if they're married, who they married.
It's a census.
And they used to be called Books of Blood.
Okay.
And that's actually what the title reads. So you were a little bit like, what? And then you open up and realize what it is. It's genealogy tracking for the entire region.
But it's basically a census, so that's cool.
Right.
And being that he is in charge of the town, it's kind of normal that he'd have that, or is there okay.
But for the whole region's a bit odd. But then again, if you're going to make a book, you might as well not bother doing each little one, just hand out one.
Don't have that.
And once again, you see that dragon stamp on it.
Huh.
And this book was printed in Darkon.
Okay, I'm lost there.
Darkon is apparently where Vlad Tepes lives.
Huh. Didn't he say earlier he'd never heard of him?
No, I think he said he had.
He had.
Just the name. He didn't have anything specific.
He's heard of the name.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. Darkon is where you guys have heard Vlad Tepes lives.
Huh. You know, despite all the bars, I don't feel safe here anymore.
The other interesting thing is, apparently, if the girl can be certified as a virgin by the matchmaker, the groom's family has to pony up the equivalent of an extra 10 acres.
Oh shit, dowry.
But here's the weird thing. If she's skilled at lovemaking and not a virgin, it's worth 25 acres.
Oh, God.
What the fuck? Wow. That's weird. And who certifies that she's...
The matchmaker. Oh, that she's skilled at lovemaking? It doesn't say.
Instead of just being a whore, you're just like really good at what she does.
Well, there's some questions that you can apparently ask a woman that make you blush.
Why is it? I always
find one
weird ends of these conversations.
Well, you do find one more weird thing in that book. According to this, by order of Vlad Tepes, if the woman was a captive of the Moorish infidel invaders, it does not adjust her price, and she is considered to be a good and godly woman despite what horrors and hardships were levied upon her.
Wow, that's very forward thinking.
Under penalty of death and dismemberment.
So in other words, they can't think lesser of a Moor.
What book are you talking about? Because I was gone. I guess did y'all do some exploring while I was gone?
She's just looking in the women's quarters. She found a book of genealogy and matchmaking and census and bloodline. But apparently, and it's right about 15 years ago that old Vlad Tepes laid that down, that a woman could not be considered despoiled by the heathen invaders for purposes of marriage. And he apparently he was talking about if you do such things, his men will come and put you on a stake and then pull your limbs off.
Tepes sounds like a very reasonable kind of guy.
Yeah.
I think I would enjoy hanging out with this guy.
Actually, I think I would too. He's kind of modern and cool.
Seems to have a thing for throwing the more infidels, off of cliffs, but
I should have done more of it. I just saying.
You find one book that you thought was a romance, but you like romances, so you kind of start skimming through the first chapter, and you're like, "What the fuck?" You're like, "Wow." Apparently, it opens up with the chapter of the knight, who's obviously supposed to be the love interest, managed to capture a Moor pirate, so he tied a rope to his genitals, tied the other end of the rope to a stake, and then threw the guy off a cliff.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
For the amusement of the ladies.
Oh, ew, come on.
Well,
You're
I guess nothing gets them wetter than like. Never mind. I don't even have a joke for that one.
No.
Yeah, that's just wait, what? Yeah, that is literally wait. He did what now? But that does go with his lordship stating that they were on wartime footing for a while.
So I take we're all together in her quarters doing our nightly prayers, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
So, what y'all want to look at first?
Slacker.
Well, I see that Helga's found some interesting reading material.
Yeah, I got a cool knife.
To protect your virtue.
To protect my virtue. Stop laughing! I don't want to sleep.
So here's my question. The way these quarters for these women is designed, Helga, does it seem to you, or does it seem to the rest of you, that this is more to keep the women in than to keep them out?
I think it's both. I mean, if you look at the bars on my balcony, there's barbs that are facing outward, so if anybody tries to get in, they're gonna suffer for it. The lady in the house just gave me a poison knife. There have been attempts at kidnapping women, but this is from, the guy that told her to not, so I don't know how accurate that is. But yeah, something is very strange about all of this. No matter what is actually correct. Goddamn, that echo is distracting.
Yeah,
it's not me. I got it on headset.
I'm on headset too. If somebody has multiple tabs open and didn't close the volume on the tabs, no wait, we have
volumes are closed on everything.
Maybe you
everything except for the music that I'm playing in the background for this stream. Well, you can't hear the music unless you're watching the stream.
You're not in a Discord. You're not in the Discord channel.
I was just checking my Discord. Yeah.
I'm not in there either. So
I've got to.
And I'm muted on the Discord channel anyway.
But nope, I don't see anybody in the Discord. It's not just me. I think everyone's echoing, but it's very low.
Who knows? But all right. One thing is for sure is this guy. Frederick and Sebastian, if they stood right behind the door inside the women's quarters, you guys could hold the women's quarters against a ton of people. I mean, it funnels it directly into pretty much a death trap.
Huh.
The women's quarters is designed to be defended pretty heavily.
Why do they need so much defense for this? It doesn't make sense to me.
And yet they dismiss the guards. Because there's no danger.
Exactly. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at things we know so far. The previous owner was very protective of everybody. He did not, and very, very by the book, with as far as religion goes. Very strict, locking down everything at night. The new owner, or that owner, abruptly died. The new guy here, it was an abrupt illness.
Okay.
And the new guy, the F&G over there, he closes off the rest of the manor, lets all the peasantry, relieves all of the guards and servants here, except for the exception of what's left here now, the minimum amount of manning we have now. shuts off from everybody, lets the peasants indulge at night. But what indulging are they doing?
Which is strange.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go look at the windows, and I want to look and see, or I want to look around the room, and I want to see if we find any type of runes etched in stone or etched anywhere.
I will tell you one thing. I think tomorrow we should go back to the village and ask the people some questions.
Yes.
Oh,
Ask
definitely.
questions. We're definitely gonna ask questions.
You do find the runes at the corners of the windows like you were half expecting.
Okay.
Are these runes maintained?
Do I find anything strange, different
some
about
wear?
Let me look at them.
Okay, first of all, number one, yes, they have been maintained. There is a little bit of wear, but not much, but somebody is maintaining them.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they're dead, there is a little bit of shocking. Well, maybe not that shocking.
Knowledge religion.
Okay.
Is there any newer runes that we're seeing that we haven't seen before?
They need newer rooms.
I mean, is it different runes than what we saw in the previous Windows
No.
seals?
No.
Look at his religion score.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Actually, Tamir is able to recognize it. You guys wouldn't have noticed, but he notices kind of quickly. There's a lot of runes designed to protect the occupant's purity.
Huh.
From any outside forces.
That's strange. Why are they so interested in someone's virginity?
It's the Middle Ages, yo.
Yes. But
Yes, but here's the thing. Why are people so dying to get in? Or are they just dying to get out?
Well, people are only ever dying to get into a graveyard.
There,
Yeah.
now it looks like it's lived in. So, you guys are talking. Tamir, you're looking out the window when you see it. Fog.
Oh, no.
Fog. Weirdly enough, you're high up enough that you can see the wall. The fog is mainly restricted to the manor grounds.
so the fog is. So those runes are protecting them.
You don't see it in the distance. You don't see it on the other side of the walls, just in here.
Just in here?
Just on the manor's grounds.
Uh-oh.
What's the deal?
Alright, then I needed to make a perception check.
This is at night?
Yes.
Okay.
Perception. Yeah, it's definitely rising up out of the grass of the manor's lawns.
Wouldn't it be? It can't solely be unusual. I mean, it's
No.
springtime.
Is it like
Is it like this that we had
moving-
before?
Is it like a small little cloud or just moving?
It's thick mist covering the manor grounds, but it stops right below the edge of the walls, the outer walls. And yes, it's like that mist you had before.
Can we see the village from where we're at?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to look beyond the walls and try to look at the village to see if there's anything strange going on outside the grounds.
Oh, fuck me. I got nothing. I think I've used up my quota of good
The
rolls.
village does not have mist in it.
Yeah, you said
That's a
that.
little weird. It's still raining out too, right?
You didn't notice until you looked out beyond the walls of the manor. It's raining outside the walls of the manor, but not in the manor.
Okay,
On the manor grounds.
That's not fucking right.
No.
You know what? I still want to go first thing in the morning. We do not need to be here. Everything's okay here. We need to go. Our duty is done.
Everything's okay here. We need to go.
Helga, calm down. We're probably in the most secure place you could possibly imagine.
Secure for who?
For you, especially. I mean, obviously. Look, I told you guys there was something strange going on here.
We're not arguing with you. We want to go tomorrow.
We need to explore the rest of this place.
Are you fucking...
I want to get to the bottom of this. There's something really strange going on. There's no children in the village. We all have no idea what happened to us the previous night. But yet, we know we went to bed, but feel like we have not rested that night. The Baron is very standoffish on everything. The wife and the woman, the wife and the mistress or whatever, they're out there, whatever. They're out there in the yard, looking absolutely suspiciously, knowing that we're watching them, so they're trying to act natural.
Yeah.
And this room, I swear to God, it wasn't built just to keep in, or well, just to keep out. It was built to keep in. Something is going on here, and we need to get to the bottom of it. Because something, and not to mention, why is it raining everywhere else but in here?
Yeah.
We need to explore.
Yes.
Let's start with the study. And the grandfather's study. Or the father's study. I want to see if we can find any information about him.
He's gonna kill it.
Left about.
If we don't know which one is the father's study, and even if we did, wouldn't the son have taken it over? I mean, we're kind of running our risk of running into the son, being all nosy.
Well, he said that we're free to go anywhere we please.
Okay. On your head, be it. Let's go.
Hey, if anything, we're just sitting around, relaxing and resting. It's very natural for us to be up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
We're soldiers, after all, and knights of the church, so...
Yep.
Naturally, we usually stay up all night anyway, out of, paranoia, I suppose, of being a soldier and the veterans of the war.
Mm-hmm.
We have plenty of great excuses here, Helga. Roll with me here, okay?
Hey, I'm not arguing.
So let's head down the hallway, and let's go see the study.
Okay.
Do we need to sneak around, or should we just...
You guys can just walk about. So you're going to go... Are you going to the women's study, or...
Well, I
Let's
thought
go
we
to
were
the
in the
women's
women's study right now.
Yes.
So we
Yeah,
just
which, as I mentioned before, has all kinds of stuff in it. I mean... There's a lot of stuff.
I want us to head to the study of the father. I want to look around there.
Okay.
Because I think that...
you do...
Go ahead.
I'm still taking my
You do run into Manfred, who is shuffling along, putting out the blowing out the candles and blowing out the lanterns. Which he's like, "Can I help you, my lords, this evening?"
Well, I see that you're blowing out the candles. Obviously, it's bedtime, but could we possibly have a light ourselves? Because we're going to be up for a while. We have trouble sleeping. The four of us have trouble sleeping at night.
Of course. His lordship was much the same when he returned from the crusade.
So you understand, a soldier slightly being at edge still.
Yes, I understand, my lord.
Thank you.
And Ramen, what are you doing in the chat?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking
Well,
about
we're
in the
headed
Roll20
there.
chat.
I'm going to look around. While we're headed there, I want to we should all roll a perception to see if we notice anything strange in the hallways as we move on towards it.
Okay.
We're being extra suspicious tonight. Being snoops.
God, yeah, I think I used up all my high rolls early on. This ain't good.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and try too, but also research this stuff.
This is so sad.
Nope, nothing. I got nothing.
You got nothing?
Yeah, I got nothing. 10.
Frederick got
Okay.
18 though.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if they have a library in this place.
That's what my second guess question was going to be.
Well, you do ask Manfred if there's a library or the study. He's like, well, there is the main library. The previous lordship's father had a study off of it.
Would you mind
I
taking
have
this?
the key, if you wish, and I will show you to it.
I tell you what, can you just give us directions and give us the key?
Yes.
Thank you.
Which you stand there for the directions. If he wasn't so elderly, you'd shake the directions out of him. But he's so old, you're worried that if you grab him, he'll just poof into dust. Following the directions, wow, there's a lot of portraits of people staring down and judging you. Some of them are dressed as nuns. The odd thing is all of you stop and stare. There's a picture of a woman wearing the same Abatus order that Helga has tattooed on her shoulder.
Okay. I'll make a religious check.
That's about the first we've seen something from our time.
One religious check.
Damn!
Wow. Yeah, the design's slightly different. It looks like it's been modernized a little. And there's a couple markings for there's a couple battle awards attached to it, but it's definitely the Sisters of Battle.
Them sons of bitches.
She was definitely high ranking, but a member of this family. Ed, you don't recognize her at all. You don't recognize her at all, and, because you were raised in that abbey, you notice a couple things that they wouldn't, like the fact that her cuffs are too wide. Her jacket's buttoned on the wrong side. But it's...
So is it a regional thing, or she's not really...
No. It looks like drift. You know what I mean by drift?
No.
As time goes on, things drift a little bit.
Okay.
She's got the exact same kind of virtue dagger that you guys have seen Helga's got in her stuff. Her personal one. She's wearing it on her hip, crossways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it looks like she's going to fast draw it at any second. It's just odd, because her monastery's fairly sequestered. It's just weird to see this woman standing there wearing it.
Yeah. And I recognize it.
Yeah. Well, you've seen Sisters of Battle during the Crusade. It's just... And obviously from that big-ass scar that took off the top part of the woman's ear, she obviously wasn't just somebody who read books about battle.
Wow.
She actually fought in the Crusades.
And all of you kind of stop and stare at one woman's picture. She's sitting on what looks more like a throne than anything else. She's wearing the proper pleated dress with the front hoops. She's surrounded by about 8 children at her feet of varying ages. But the big thing that makes you guys kind of stare, her breasts are exposed. It's like the front of her dress is cut away to expose her dress.
Like,
to
is she
expose her
doing
breasts.
like an extreme cleavage, or is she like literally showing her tits off?
Literally, her breasts are out.
Oh, okay. That's
And
odd.
very aggressively out. And she's also got 3 little babies on her lap.
Okay, then she was feeding her children.
She's obviously showing off, behold.
I'm a mother.
Yeah, behold my milk-swollen breasts and all of my children. It smacks of arrogance to all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of does.
I mean, even though it's shocking that her breasts are out, her expression is arrogant and judging. And Helga, you're a woman, so you get that look.
Mm-hmm.
She's damn near calling you a dried up old maid if you don't have as many kids as she does.
What are we dealing with? Resting bitch face here?
No.
No, this is active
arrogance.
bitch face. This is active arrogant bitch face.
Okay. So we see this, and then the next one.
Helga, though, it's damn near personally insulting to Helga.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Keep going. I'll be right back.
How old would she have been in that picture?
You'd say she's in her 30s.
Which is just a little older than Helga. Yeah, that's really fucking insulting.
And you're like, wow, she's got all those children lived.
Yeah.
I didn't vaccinate my kids, and the one that survived turned out perfectly fine.
Wow, this is where we're going with this.
Yeah.
You don't need
there's
to
another one.
vaccinate. I'm sorry. Go on.
There's another one. It's a heroic one that's about 10 feet long and about 4 feet high on the wall. It's one of those big heroic picture murals.
Like a tapestry.
Yeah. And it kind of sends a chill through all of your spines.
What's going on?
That's the breach. You guys found a tapestry almost at the office, almost at the library, and study of the elder Lord Vandelheim. But you found a tapestry on the wall that kind of chills you guys to the bone because, number one, this tapestry looks old as hell. But you were there. That's the breaching of the gates of Jerusalem.
Hell yeah.
That was one of the last battles of Charlemagne's unification crusade.
Yeah.
And it's kind of eerie because you guys were there. But this tapestry is old.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
He said he didn't fight. He said he fought in a second crusade, didn't he?
Yes, he said he fought in the Second Crusade.
We never fought a second crusade. This is coming from our crusade.
Trying to remember which number the one that Charlemagne did. Would that be the?
It's not actually listed as a crusade in our history, but we're calling it the Unification Crusade because you guys are from an alternate Earth.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Let's get to this study in this library and
The library, you use the key to unlock it. You can't resist turning it really quickly. You don't. It's petty and small, but you can't resist, turning the key really quickly and pulling the door open. Because, for fuck's sake.
this hallway is creeping the fuck out of us.
It's a pretty impressive library. Actually, for you guys, it's really impressive. There's like 10 or 12 shelves of books. And there's a door to a study that's open.
Let's head to the study. Let's look around. I want to see if we can find anything about the previous owner or the current owner of this place.
There is a lot of martial books in here. Including some heathen books that are borderline, you're not sure, borderline probably shouldn't have. But one of the, whoever this guy was, he was reading a book about chariot and cavalry tactics of the Egyptians.
Whoa.
Why would he be interested in that? There's
a lot of books on warfare in here.
Yeah.
And on the wall is, of course, once again,
Stern cheese.
this map.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's a nice map.
Yeah.
Be a shame if someone were to steal it.
Let me look for...
Is there a desk around any? I mean, I'm looking for any
There is the desk
on the original owner. I'm gonna go and take a look through the desk because I want to see if I can find information about the previous owner or the current owner. You know,
You find the first thing you find is there's stacks of letters that are unopened,
okay,
and they're addressed to Lord Vandenheim. The wax seals are still sealed. They're old too.
And
we
obviously can't break those without them being noticed.
Let's see. I do believe somebody here has disabled device.
Actually, I think I do.
I know I do, so hold on a minute.
No, I've got a
Wait,
negative one for disabled device.
Tamir has craft bookbinding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Tamir, you kind of don't want to admit it too much, but you do know how to pop wax seals and then put them back on.
Yeah.
No comment.
Hey,
All right, let me see what I can do.
Your mentor.
Nope.
You can pop it off without damaging it.
Yeah.
So just pick one of the letters at random.
Yeah.
Let's see. You pull it out and unfold it. It's written in fairly bold strokes, and it says, "Dear Father, the supply trains have arrived after we pushed the Moors into Syracuse and burned the town around them." This is somebody talking about a rather nasty battle where they not only burned the town and anybody who was in it to the ground, but then they caught the survivors and crucified them upside down and cut open their stomachs.
Wow.
Holy fuck.
Now, let me go ahead and try another one.
Why would they cut them upside down?
Because it drops their guts over their face.
Nope. Nope.
Nope, you don't want to mess with this one. The seal's too old and brittle.
Yeah. Let me try this one.
You're able to pop that one. Wow, this one's really hard to read. Not because it's not because the lettering is difficult, but because of the subject. The person who wrote this letter is talking about liberating a Moorish sex slave encampment. And how, to punish the Moors that they caught, they gathered up the slavers, tied ropes around their genitals, and threw them off the top of the buildings.
Okay.
And then
that confirms the story that
the regimental bishop pronounced all the women saved and virgins again, and tattooed the symbol of Mary Magdalene on their breasts, on their left breast.
Okay.
And sent them back are sending them back under guard.
Okay.
This guy was apparently in the thick of it. He apparently he out of humbleness and piety turned down an award because he helped chop his way through. He helped chop through the gate to get in.
Okay.
This guy was in the thick of stuff.
That's interesting.
This dude's a bad motherfucker.
Okay, sorry, I missed part of that. Who was the one that wrote that?
Says at the bottom is hopefully I become your son. That's all the letters seem to say at the bottom of it for the name, no name.
Right.
Huh.
The letters are all about 15 years old.
Yeah, let me go ahead and try this one. Let me try to read
they were
this
never read.
Let me try to read this one.
That's so odd.
Nope, doesn't.
Wow.
Now, actually, you do break the seal, but it cracked in the middle.
Oh,
Oh, that's not good.
Whoops.
Just take that one with you. Maybe he won't notice it.
He'll totally notice it. Okay.
Shut up, Helga.
Well, nobody's opened these. Nobody's been in this office for years.
yeah.
Don't tell
You
me
can tell
to
nobody's
shut
been
up.
in here for years.
All right, let me read this one.
This letter details the fact that Lord Dracul himself replaced his sword with one blessed by clerics after there was a retreat, and he and two friends held part of the pass in the Spine of the Beast Mountains against the Moors, and by the time it was over, the pass was clotted with bodies and vultures and ravens, but he turned down the sword out of piety because he didn't want his father to think that he was becoming arrogant.
Okay. All right, and then I'll try another one. Let me roll again. What is with these low rolls?
And you break another seal. These seals are old and brittle.
It's like it gives me the same roll over again.
He's talking about how glorious it was to force all the Moors aboard the ships, and then burn the ships, and then spear any of the Moors who climbed up onto the beach. And those that they didn't immediately spear, they crucified upside down, split open their stomachs, and filled their guts with hot coals.
Ooh.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys have
see if
some
I
pretty
can.
interesting hobbies, it would seem.
Yeah, let me see if I can get this one out. Oh, finally.
This one's a much earlier one. He's talking about having finally arrived at Lord Dracul's battle camp, and that on the morning they're going to push. The Lord wants to push toward. What was it called? Stalingrad. They're going to push towards Stalingrad. Tomorrow will be difficult. He's not because he just joined. He just joined this crusade to push them back. He's in the front ranks, and he's going to be in the front ranks crossing a bridge. And this may be his last letter.
Oh.
But hopefully, he's hoping that his first battle isn't his last.
Okay. So we only got like a couple of things down.
So these letters are not entrusted of the writings of. These aren't accounts written by the Baron of this keep. They were just addressed as.
Actually, from the date, they might be. These are all when he was supposedly at the crusade. This one right here about to join his first battle is from 30 years ago.
Okay, that makes about sense.
And if he did all these things, there might be a reason he doesn't want to talk about it. Because he does not look like the type. He looks like everybody's favorite uncle.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand why he wouldn't want to talk about it. I get okay in character. I said, I guess we see why he doesn't want to discuss his past in the crusade. But then again, we've done some pretty heinous and seen some pretty heinous shit while we were serving.
We did.
I have never personally guided my crossbow.
Oh God, Helga, don't even lie. I remember that time when you took that rapist out into the street and you shoved a bolt right up his ass.
I was doing God's work. Leave me alone.
I had requested you at least use the lube. You wouldn't even do that.
Let's see.
What?
Is there any more? There's
There's quite a few letters. There is one that you'd say. There is one that's probably, like I said, 15 years ago, right about when he said he got back.
Yeah.
You do find one of those, and it's not open.
Check that one.
14.
We'll be here all day.
He's writing that he's coming home. That it's over. It's all over.
It's all over but the crying.
They marched back, and and he was given a bride.
A bride.
Yeah.
He was given a bride.
Does it describe the bride any?
Yes,
Obviously,
in glowing detail.
Oh God, no.
That's her ladyship, only younger.
So, but I thought he married the woman before he went to the crusade.
No,
No, he
he
would have
did
been
not.
about 15.
He did state it was an arranged marriage.
Okay.
So the story doesn't add up.
No, it adds up if you take. But she was given to him, and he was married by the regimental chaplain, given his horse, and told good luck. and that his family once again has domains over Vandelheim. That his family's basically shown their loyalty to the crown.
Ah.
The interesting thing there is he says, you know, that she recognized him because she saved him from the Moorish werewolf camps.
The Moorish werewolf camps.
What?
Saved him.
Well, I guess that explains why we saw so much detail about werewolves.
He saved her from the camp.
Oh. Okay.
He saved her from the camp.
What the hell is she doing over there?
Something tells me something's not right.
I doubt she was there by choice.
Yes.
I doubt she got dragged from Vandelheim. Do you really think somebody dragged her from Vandelheim all the way? No.
Yeah.
Something ain't right.
Do you think
something's not right?
If she was rescued from a werewolf camp, do you think maybe she might be a werewolf?
It's possible.
She might.
I don't know anything about werewolves. I've never seen one, but...
Well,
Yeah,
what was all
villagers
the
talk
stuff
about
that we
them all the
found in
time.
that keep?
We read that book. We read that book about it.
Werewolvism can be cured, but it's a hell of a fucking ritual.
We're talking about lycanthropy, right?
Yes.
Good old lycanthropy.
Alright, I'm checking another one.
Something is strange about this woman. I'm not so much concerned about him anymore. I'm more concerned
Which means
about
she was
her.
like 16 when they got married.
Yeah.
But that's not uncommon.
Wait, so
No,
did
that's
she
never-
follow him to the Crusades?
Well, I mean, in this time frame, people
No.
marry, like, women married off young, and men married off quite older. I mean, we were talking, like, I know I mean, it was not uncommon back then, like, right, to see, like, a 30-year-old dude with a 15-year-old girl, you know?
That would be about what it is. Late 20s, early 30s, and she would be mid-teens.
Yeah, and typically, they would, it also was not uncommon for it to be, like, blood-related family, even.
Well, you know,
Like, it wouldn't be like sisters and brothers, but it'd be like
cousins, second cousins,
you know?
uncles.
Alright.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna look around for more stuff and see what we can find. I'm gonna
we've all
perform
read Romeo
You know what?
and
While
Juliet.
you're looking through the letters, I'm gonna look around the room
Perception.
a little bit.
Okay, I'll do Vegas first. He did a lot of correspondence about what the generals should do to push back the Moorish invasion. He wrote about it several times, and frankly, his idea of sound battle tactics would probably kill more of your side than theirs, and even if you won, it wouldn't be worth it.
Oh,
He is the definition of an armchair general who looks at the number of men as merely an abstract thing.
Yeah.
He'd fit perfectly with the Imperial Guard.
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes.
you're looking about. The biggest thing you notice, I mean, the nice roll too.
Love you, cigarette?
Yeah, just right. The biggest thing you notice is the fact that most of the books are very much in order, like grouped by category, like phalanxes, tactics of ancient Rome, tactics of the Persians. You do spot a book out of place.
Let me look at that book. What is it?
Pulling it out, it's a book on it's a book on mountain warfare. It's not a very good one, but it's well, you can't open it because it's been soaked in dried blood.
Holy shit.
It was open and dried blood all over it. And it was carefully put back up, but in the wrong spot. Here you go, beloved.
Yeah. Perception again.
Thank you.
This is strange. Amir, what do you make of it? Can you manage to open this with your bookbinding?
Yeah, I can try. Let me see if I can do it. Though it may be difficult, but I
Pretty soaked in dry blood. Did he pull this off of a dead soldier?
All right.
You managed to get some of the pages undone. This was open, and this is arterial flooding onto it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a standard book on mountaineering. It's whoever wrote this didn't know jack or shit about military movements in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
They keep referring to Attila's march on Rome, but they're drawing all the wrong conclusions. As far as perception goes, the office has just this feeling of frustration and grimness in it.
Are there windows in this office?
Yes.
Yes.
And they overlook the ladies' gardens.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't seem like we're finding anything extremely suspicious in this room besides the exception of this book. There's still something odd about it. Those paintings on the wall, especially the one with the woman with her exposed chest, which is strange. And so many of those paintings look like they're just looking and judging you.
Like I said, Tamira, there's a lot of this place just have a feeling of frustration to you. Like whoever owned this and decorated it felt like he was denied something he was due. It's a really weird feeling.
I'm gonna look around the room and see if there's any like hidden switches, panels, or something
Give me a
like
perception.
that. You know, shit like that. Let's see. 14.
Not that you can find, but Tamir finds a book. It's a tome of blood. It's written in Latin.
A tome of
But Helga
blood?
found one of those before. Helga, give me a perception check because you saw that out of the corner of the eye. But like I said, Tamir, it's also got a lock on it. But you did find some book keys in the upper drawer of the desk.
Woohoo! Score!
That's a book of blood, but it's a lot thinner than the one that's in the that you picked up in the ladies' room.
A book of blood.
Yeah,
It's obvious.
It's like a census.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
Okay,
Kind of like a family history, ancestry book. Okay.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, what would be in this book that wasn't included in the other one?
All right.
You don't know. You'd have to have Tamir open it up.
Let me look.
Is that something that...
Crap! You weren't here. Fuck! I thought you were. Okay. You found a thin book that was entitled "Book of Blood." That's usually used for genealogy and the like. Helga spotted you and said that one's a lot thinner than the one that she found in the ladies' quarters. You're able to open it even though it's locked.
Yeah.
So are you opening it and looking at it or not?
Yes, I'm looking at it.
All right.
First thing you know, its first page has lists of names. A lot of these dates are older, and it looks like marriages in the village.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you remember the first name you find, the last name is. Hang on a second, my map was too far zoomed in because I'm an idiot. Dun, dun, dun. The first one you find is Melgon. Family Melgon. Alfred married to Bethena. 8 children. And then it just keeps going. And you're thumbing through it. It looks pretty boring to you. It just looks like who married who.
Who married who? And who else? If I look into it deep enough, perception.
It's toward the back that things get a little shocking. You'd say about 40 years ago.
40 years ago.
It says there's no man listed. It just says Atima Holgein, which you guys saw Holgein Brothers find goods in town.
Mm-hmm.
It says arrived, stayed the evening, anal, vaginal.
Wait, what?
The fuck?
Cried. It's just a list of women and apparently the size of their breasts, what he did, and whether or not they cried or screamed.
Okay.
And who is
You're kind of but then all the dates stop. All the dates stop about 15 years ago.
That's strange. It is.
this? Was the owner of the
These
Baron?
women-
It was writing this.
Yes.
These women were being raped. I'm assuming.
Yep. And there's a date. You're like, huh? He did it to them once. Well, actually, you find three names. You find three names that repeat with a couple years apart.
So basically, that
So it would have.
obvious. It appears that whoever wrote the letters was a bastard.
Well, it appear if the Baron was the one that wrote the letters, and the Baron was the one that did this and performed this.
He was,
He was at war when this
he
happened.
was a bastard
Remember, this
child.
was 15 years ago.
You have to understand it when you're royalty. It's obviously it was 15 years ago, but
It started about
could be-
40 years ago and ended. It ended 10 years ago.
So I'm assuming that this person. So I'm assuming the Baron is a bastard.
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay.
Give me knowledge, religion, anybody who wants to, and you know.
All right.
Tamir was
why
like,
don't
oh, Jesus.
Start with Tamir. Start with
Okay,
Tamir.
give me
I'll try to give it a shot. Let's see if I have the.
You're the religion expert here anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, knowledge, religion +9.
16.
Yeah, you've heard of this before. It was really frowned upon. It's called prima nocta.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really frowned.
What is prima nocta? I've never heard of this.
That means when a woman and a man get married, the lord of the domain reserves the right to their first night.
Oh.
Basically,
What?
it's
So the Lord of the
it's-
Domain
he's-
gets to fuck the wife, basically.
Yes, he's collecting a tax on all their future sex. It was a pretty brutal thing that they don't do it. That has only been done a few times, and you guys know that from your time, from where you're from, that is explicitly forbidden by Rome because it leads to insurrections.
This
Okay,
guy was
wait.
practicing a very...
But there's no way it's the current lord that you met
Right.
because it started before he was born.
Was this the previous Baron?
Yeah. Or
It had to have been.
That would explain a little bit about how locked-tight the women's quarters is. I mean, if you think about it, he was spending the night with each of these women.
I don't know because
You know.
were the women
And a
living-
guy like this, well, this also then. Remember, you said that, well, the quarters was designed to keep people out. To keep people from kidnapping the ladies, right?
Yeah.
Helga divulged this information already to us, right?
Yeah.
That she didn't know, you didn't know whether what.
I
I'm
already
beginning
had
to think.
suspicions about it being a rescue attempt. I've already said that.
I'm beginning to think your suspicions are correct that it was more of a rescue attempt.
I'm usually right,
Yep.
so that's okay.
We stumbled upon some weird stuff. Now I don't feel that the current lordship is practicing these things, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
But It's about 10 years ago. There isn't, the last name has nothing listed by it.
Yeah.
And I will put the name down in the chat in a second. But you notice, whoever this was, he didn't get a chance at them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I bet I know who it is.
You do, huh?
Yeah, I really do.
Even though you have... Okay,
I'm making a wild guess. I know who this is, and I ain't gonna say it.
you're not going to say it?
Not out loud. I mean, do you want me to say it out loud? I'll say it.
You can say your guess if you wish.
I think it's this guy's wife, and that's when he killed his father. Because you did say the
He killed
last
the
one
father
was 10
because
years
he was
ago.
he killed the father because he was going to perform prima nocta on her.
Yeah.
And he didn't want that, of course, to protect her.
Yeah. Let me
But
do
you
it.
know,
This
prima nocta is one thing. That's one night. This guy was collecting sex tax, which there's no precedence for that. There's no history of that anywhere that I know of.
Yeah.
we're on a tainted grounds, lady.
There is the name right there.
Can I say it out loud?
Yeah, we
Yes,
all
you
got
can.
it.
Shaylee von Vandelheim?
Yeah. So is that the wife, or all we've heard is referred
You
to
don't-
as-
All you know is she was referred to as Lady Vandelheim.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Is that her?
And she'd have been about
15,
20.
20. Okay. It's got to be her. I mean,
Yeah.
how common would the name Vandelheim be?
Most of the peasants that you know of have... Vega can tell you, most of the peasants don't have last names. Or if they do, it refers to what their family has done for a livelihood.
Like
This has to be her. Yeah. This has to be her.
Yeah.
Huh.
I totally guessed that shit.
And to be honest, Tamir, the person who wrote all those letters about what they were doing, that is the last person you would try to take his wife for a night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But remember, those letters were sealed. They hadn't been read.
Yeah.
So if you don't know your son is that much of a badass, all you know is you intimidated him when he was 15.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that tomorrow, I think when we next talk to the Baron, we should ask some questions about the father. Just see how he feels towards his father,
who died of a sudden but foreseeable illness.
Totally justified.
I have a feeling we are going to discover something going on here. Not to mention, with the death of this father being abrupt, is it possible that maybe his spirit lingers within this keep or on these grounds? Is it possible that maybe he was even possessed by something paranormal or supernatural that was of the lusty demon variety?
That's some interesting speculation. I just think it's very strange, though, that after what happened, he would allow he would encourage the villagers to entertain themselves at night. You know?
All I gotta say is cue the music.
Cue the music.
Look,
this would actually be
if he was possessed of some form, it's very possible that presence is still living above over this town, and that makes perfect sense why everyone would be shut in this keep.
Okay.
Not to mention, it's raining all around outside the keep, but there's no rain here.
So you're saying
Mist and fog.
So you're saying some type of sex demon is involved?
I was gonna say an Argonian lusty barmaid, but I'm just kidding.
No, we are not reducing our dignity by bringing up Skyrim.
Oh, okay, Skyrim.
But
No,
I believe we have some form of... I'm not going to say that there is a demonic presence but there is some type of lustful presence that is brooding over this town or brooding over the area.
Yes.
And it seems to be in my opinion, it seems to be something left behind from this previous Baron. Obviously, he was a very lustful individual. Look at this. He kept a tab on every woman he had sex with, whether it was forceful or consensual, and whether or not they cried or enjoyed it.
Yes.
This is not the mind of a very well man. Definitely not one of the church.
Either that or the Baron was cursed. There has to be.
Okay.
I
You
don't
want to take
think
your
he
pill?
was cursed. I think that he was totally logical and deliberate in recording this. I just think he was an evil motherfucker that needed to die.
Evil motherfucker, yes, but...
What?
Evil, yes, but even then... It's not like it wouldn't have attracted some type of other bad presence to hang over this place, to brood over everyone.
Okay? I just don't...
I believe... Look... If the presence of something is brooding over this town, he had to be the cause of it and brought along with it.
I have a feeling it involves a sex-crazed demon, but unfortunately that theory is not good.
Well, it involves
that's not a
something
very
of the
good
lustful
theory because we don't have anything to back that up.
I think it involves something of the lustful variety. Why would you shut out everyone and let them indulge?
Yes.
Why shut everyone out of this keep when before the people that ran this place, it wasn't that big of an issue? Why were the people restricted from indulging?
Now, something tells me that those two are mentally...
Look, the Baron, I think, is quite legitimate. I'm sorry, I'm getting vibes that this Baron is quite legitimate. He suffered through some shit. He killed a father just because I believe he murdered his father. And the fear that Orwell, in an attempt to spare his current wife, the fate that the others had faced.
Indeed. And the thing is, what bothers me about this is that it could have been, he could have went insane.
Look,
I'm suspecting that the Baron is insane. That's all. Not like he's talking
about the previous Baron or the current Baron?
The current Baron.
I don't think he's insane. I think he's cautious. He's a soldier like we were. He was a soldier like us.
I don't think he's insane either. He just talks like somebody.
He's paranoid. He's paranoid. He's naturally paranoid, as we are. Naturally suspicious of individuals.
Yes.
Look, this keep, the women's quarters was designed to keep women in, not keep women out.
Yes.
It was designed to keep them in. I guarantee you, those quarters where Helga's sleeping right now, that is where he practiced his prima nocta rituals.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't think I want to sleep there anymore, guys. Sorry. I'm so not sleeping there. but no offense, I don't want to sleep in your room either. So
I don't want to sleep with you either.
Helga, you're always welcome to sleep with me.
Let's not even go there.
I don't like anybody's sloppy seconds. I'm getting my own room. Or thirds or whatever.
Whatever.
Helga's room is obviously where he kept them. I don't know how many women he may have kept in there. But this is very telling. Not to mention, it seems strange. Everything is adding up and sounding even stranger as we speak.
Yes.
And you notice how the lady was very, very cringy when it came to talking about sexual matters earlier.
Yes.
Not only that, but also when it came to the mere notion of war stories.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised that she wouldn't want to hear about the things that the dark, evil, twisted things her husband had to do in the line of duty.
Yes.
Those aren't appropriate for
We all have
years anyway.
we all have regretful stories of things that we've done.
Yes. It appears
Like
that we.
using hot pokers and orifices.
Again,
Well,
I have
let's
no
go back.
regrets.
That's TMI. TMI.
No regrets
Untrained
still.
skill.
Uh-oh, what's that?
No, that
Helga,
was-
no regrets.
All right, let me go ahead and do perception check and let's see what we can find.
All right.
I'm gonna say that till the day Helga dies.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Nice perception check.
Okay, note to self. Tamir is not one to be cheated on.
No.
Fuck.
No,
You find-
destroyer.
You do find something interesting.
Oh god.
Mhm.
Define
The pay manifest.
The pay manifest. Okay.
Yeah. Now the date ends about the same date as you found her ladyship's name, but according to this book, this guy had nearly 50 guards. He was paying 50. He was paying 50 personal guard, 24 town guard, and close to 30 servants.
Shit.
And then there's no more payments listed.
So he gets stopped, his power is taken from him, and everybody's dismissed. Huh.
Either that or executed.
I was just gonna say, we're eliminated, one or the other. But the current
Yeah.
Baron doesn't seem to be the sort to kill a whole bunch of people, innocent people, just to protect a piece of crap like his father.
Did you not read those fucking letters?
No. You didn't hear what she said. To protect a piece of crap like his father.
True.
Unless he paid them off to get them to leave and not come back. They weren't just dismissed. And to keep silent. He paid for their silence and to get them out of there.
Yeah.
That would seem more likely.
So he did.
I-
So we suspect that he probably did kill his father for the reasons. Well,
I'll always say it was an illness, a sudden illness. I'm down with this.
yeah.
Well,
he-
judging by what I'm seeing here, I'm sorry the man is justified for his actions. I'm not going
Yes,
to go play
yes.
judge and executioner here. I'm also not a man of the law here.
That's fair enough. I'm not trying to say he did what he felt was right to protect his wife from.
Something we think we all would have done.
Mhm.
Yes.
Except Helga. She just let it happen.
What? The fuck is wrong with you?
The fuck is wrong with you?
It was a joke, Helga. Laugh, chuckle a little bit,
No.
breaking the tension.
I don't think she considers that a joke.
I think you'd wake up on fire. That's a joke.
You'd wake
It's
up
cool.
on fire.
It's not it wouldn't be the first time.
When you
So-
first set everyone on fire.
I'm assuming this woman might have been
This is the first time
a witch.
What
Well,
woman?
let's not forget, she was out of the lycanthropy camps.
See, that's another thing that bothers me. She came from the lycanthrope camps.
It's okay if you don't.
Oh, Tamir, I know what you found. I almost forgot.
These nuts. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to hell. Oh god.
What did I find?
Sleepy, giggly part of the evening. He's telling you, hold on.
So, out of character, basically, we've established that the Baron of this keep is a lover of the furry variety of women. She likes fur. He likes furries.
She's only a furry one day out of the month. Let's not, overthink this.
Wow! So he gets a double whammy. He also not only does he have to deal with that time of the month, he has to deal with a really weird time of the month too.
It could explain why he left all the
It's in
iron
a box
doors
in the
up.
bottom drawer. It's in a box in the bottom drawer of the desk.
It could explain though why he left all the iron bars up and the bars on the windows up.
Okay. I
What, so
look
that when
at
she
it.
changes that he can't.
I look at. So I see
Okay,
this thing.
everybody's talking over each other. We need to, get back to. Sorry.
Okay, so I found something that's shiny.
Ooh, shiny, my precious.
Leather head straps.
Calm
engraved with
yourself.
runes of protection, holding and manacles of a wolfskin collar. Wow. So I gotta put it. I gotta do a knowledge religion and see what that symbol is. Okay, here we go.
Oh, baby. $24 plus 2 trait bonus.
Yes. Yep.
Anyone ever tell you you have a big skill check?
Phrasing!
Praise Lilith, yo!
Phrasing!
I know.
Yeah.
Tamir, you've been holding out on us.
Oh shit! I was on mute, wasn't I? Son of a
Now you're
bitch.
gonna
Okay.
have to read it again.
Okay. On the leather strap, which goes around the back of the head and over the top of the head, you find protection runes, and one rune in particular that you spotted on a book of lycanthropy that was in the cathedral library.
Mm-hmm.
The wolfskin collar has a rune stitched into it.
Mm-hmm. I rolled.
Yeah, that was a high roll, but has runes stitched into it that you saw in the werewolf book, but because you didn't read it, you weren't sure what they did. Basically, this is really odd. This is not stuff you'd expect to see. You've ever really seen, but it smacks of perversion to you.
Of course it does.
Are you going to show it to anybody else?
I'll show it to Helga.
Yes! Show it to Helen, alright. Okay.
Yeah, it's a head harness and a bit with the bit made of silver, a pair of silver inlaid manacles, and a wolfskin collar.
Okay, that looks potentially painful if it's for a werewolf. I mean, could you imagine biting down on that and you can't even help biting down? Damn. Do I have to roll something for
get the
this?
feeling that.
Or he already
What's funny
explained
is,
it all?
Frederick is like, and Frederick and Siegfried are both like, oh yeah, we've seen that stuff before.
Oh
in
my
Paris.
god, I knew it.
Yeah. This
That's
is
an ugly
not giving
box.
us good. This is not bringing back good memories.
But you can also tell none of it's been used.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
So it was put back here just in case.
No, it looks like somebody got this box and put it in the drawer and never used it.
Yeah.
So it might not have even been necessary.
Well, if they got the thing, they must have thought it was.
They might have been
Yeah,
a
but these are
just-in-case
some-
scenario.
Yeah, but the strange part, they're silver.
Well, I'm saying it might have been a just-in-case scenario, and then they figured out it didn't need to be used.
Well, let's put it this way. They have runes of protection on them.
Uh-huh, okay.
And why would anyone use this unless they're holding something?
Or wanting to keep something captive.
Yes.
Well, if we are correct and his wife is a lycanthrope, you would want to put this on her during the full moon time frame so that she does not get loose to harm townsfolk.
Mm-hmm.
Ralph, would I have to roll wisdom to see what the moon looked like the last time I saw it? As far as what phase it is?
because of the clouds, yeah.
All right. Ice gods, don't fail me now. Spoilers, they're probably going to fail me.
Narrator. Oh,
I
narrator
take that
did
back.
not.
An unnatural 20.
In a day or two, the first night of the full moon's going to start.
Oh, shit.
It's close.
So what we need to do for the next couple days is observe.
Yes.
I have a feeling our lady friend here is going to get a little hairy in the next couple days. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
In other words, she's going to look a little something like Helga when she forgets to shave after a couple of weeks on the road.
Really?
You just had to go there, didn't you?
Really?
Really? Really?
Hey, I only call it like I see it.
If you know what? I'm not gonna say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Grim Dark Ravenloft, boys and girls.
Yeah.
But yeah, if
Would the average woman have even shaved back then? I don't think they would.
Shaving goes as far back as ancient Rome.
Yep. Which leads me to consider one thing. The nightly revelry and all that. I think it's best we don't return to the village, are as far away from the village as possible when the full moon comes.
Okay.
And like my wife just reminded me, the Persians invented Nair.
Yeah, but I mean about like in Europe. We know all these ancient civilizations did it. I know Egypt and
shaving didn't fall out of fashion until the Black Death years.
Okay.
And then a lot of noble women did it to set themselves above the animals that were the commoners.
Okay, that makes sense. So Helga might.
On the other hand, Helga wouldn't do it because it runs the risk of a cut and infection.
Yeah, that's actually what I was gonna say, because they were in battle all the time and shit. Okay, so at this point we know there could possibly be a werewolf on the grounds, but in the village there's some crazy shit going on. We're screwed either, but you know what? We have a good iron door. We could stay here.
I'd say we'd be better off doing that.
Yeah.
Y'all can stay in my room. It's like the most barricaded room in the building.
I don't think
Well, there's multiple ladies' rooms that they could stay in.
Aw. I want them to sleep on the floor at the foot of my bed.
Frederick's like, I don't know if I'm ready to wear a dress and stay in the ladies' quarters.
Yeah,
What's
I'm
up,
good.
Siegfried? What are you doing that for? Oh, never mind. I forgot you already did that. For some reason, it just popped up on my screen.
Oh my god.
All right. Now here's my question.
Shoot.
If one of us goes to sleep tonight, will we wake up the next one of us wake up the next morning feeling like we hadn't slept the night before and not knowing why again?
Yeah, y'all ain't sleeping in my room. Sorry.
Here within these grounds.
Changed my mind. Oh my god, I just thought of it. Never mind, I'm shutting up.
I say one of us goes. I say okay, one of us sleeps tonight while the other of us observe.
No, I think we should all sleep. You guys sleep in another room. You're not sleeping with me.
Oh, come on, Helga.
You can get right the hell out.
You act like you forgot all about that one time we were on the road drinking.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I deny that to my death, motherfucker. No, you
deny what you want.
And you, no. You, and all y'all except my dog can just get the hell out.
That's not what you said that night.
Anyway.
You know what? No, get the fuck out. I'm not even. You guys
Get out of my room.
Get the fuck out.
Look, I'm not even.
Don't make
Look,
me
hey,
call the Baron's son.
I'm not judging. I mean, I understand you ladies get emotions too.
Dude, you are drunk and having hallucinations. You need to get the fuck
I
out.
mean, I
Anyway.
may or
I
may
don't know what
not
kind
have
of
walked
funny
in.
mushrooms you had that night,
Anyway.
but
I
nothing
may
happened.
or may not have
Both
walked
of you be quiet before I knock you out.
How
multiple
do I
men.
mute you two?
I'm
Enough.
just saying.
Again, waking up on fire.
What's up, Raltz?
Anyway, let's move on. Don't make me mute you two.
Don't make me turn this RP around.
Okay. The night actually passes fairly uneventful. You're rather surprised, although you do hear shuffling. Oh, that's right. Not all of you are in the ladies' quarters, so no, you don't. You don't hear jack or shit.
And Jack left town.
They're all in the females' quarters.
I'm sorry. What?
Not the
What'd you say?
I said there's one female in the group and they're all in the women's quarters.
Yes. Anyway, what'd you say, Siegfried?
I said, and Jack left town.
Yes. In the morning, Manfred's a little startled to find the three of you huddled up in one room in the women's quarters, but he just kind of raises an eyebrow and then brings you breakfast. You've never seen anybody take so long to set a table. You doubt very much that there's anything going on supernatural with that old man.
No.
Supernatural creatures move faster.
The only thing that could possibly happen is that he's been cursed with a permanent spell-like ability of natural slow on himself.
Yeah.
Actually, I take that back. Even casting slow on him wouldn't slow him down this bad.
Maybe he's secretly a gelatinous cube in disguise. Who knows? Let's move on.
Gelatinous cubes aren't that slow.
Maybe he's an old gelatinous cube. Can we move on?
So is the Baron joining us for breakfast?
In the
No, you're
women's
having breakfast in
quarters?
your room.
Okay.
Brunch, though, will be in the sunroom.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. We definitely want to go talk to the Baron. I wonder if we should talk to the townsfolk during the day today to
Well,
learn
safe.
a little bit more information.
Well,
remember,
during the
Baron
day,
is.
it'll certainly be safe.
Okay, let him talk. Dude.
Remember, the Baron is very prickly and evasive about any questions, and he would probably be very offended if he thought you read his letters.
I wasn't going to ask questions about his letters.
Okay. Just letting you know.
Warning you.
Just going to ask questions about the paintings on the walls. Maybe ask questions about the father, just to see if we can find more information about him.
I think we don't need to
Actually,
recognize
we
him.
should ask the town. We should ask the townsfolk about the father.
Do you think
Townsfolk
they're
would probably know more about this father and about the type of person he was.
Yeah.
Now, Manfred does ask, will you be joining his lordship for breakfast or taking breakfast in the town?
Well,
Brunch, you mean?
we'll join his lordship with brunch, and then we're gonna go out into the town for a little bit.
Okay. All right. Brunch with the Baron and his wife. It would be a little easier to talk and ask questions if the headmistress wasn't standing over you watching you eat.
Which has got to make things several degrees of uncomfortable.
Yes.
Although,
But there is a point at when you finish with the initial little food and Manfred is slowly putting pancakes and syrup and jam on the plates that you'll have time to talk since it's Manfred and he's got to serve 6 people. So now is probably your best chance to ask him questions.
I'll let you guys go. You guys got any questions for him? Because I can't think of anything at the moment.
I can't think of anything that would not offend the headmistress and make her really uncomfortable. So I'm shutting up.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And I don't think he'd be honest anyway, so, I mean, he clearly wasn't honest yesterday.
So, Baron, saw a lot of, just walking around last night, saw a lot of strange paintings about.
Oh, my family. Yes, my family has a somewhat checkered past, Lord Knight.
Yeah, curiosity. What's with the lady and the exposed breasts and the 8?
Oh, my great-great-great-great-grandmother.
Wow.
Very,
Her mother was only able to conceive after consulting the bishops and going to Castle Dracu to meet with the Lord's wife. And her mother often told her that she would need to marry rich because she was an ugly child.
Wow!
But once my great-great-great-grandmother married, she married frequently and often and gave birth to many children. And, well, my dear, would you care to tell? And her ladyship looks over and goes, it's rumor among the ladies that when her mother was old and feeble, her ladyship breastfed her to mock her. Because she was unable to eat normally, and the only way she could survive is for her own daughter to feed her.
interesting.
That's a lovely breakfast topic.
But apparently, well, you're like, that's pretty hardcore. And the Baron, flushing slightly, goes, my great-great-great-great-grandmother was so enamored with her ability to produce children that she doesn't have a bust like other family members. She had her pregnant belly and breasts cast in bronze instead.
Interesting.
You're like, okay, she was a weirdo.
Yeah.
You definitely weren't joking about that checkered past.
That's an understatement.
But her ladyship titters and goes, she was a model and appreciated by the ladies of the town.
Alrighty
I gotta
then.
admire somebody that has a fuck you attitude like that, though. I'm sorry, that is just...
Although,
What?
if I may inquire,
Yes.
every village always has their own special days and certain holy days as well. It's part of what makes them their own identity.
True.
Are there any in this village related to the phases of the moon?
No, that's an odd question to ask. I do know that it's coming up on well, it's a minor celebration among the villagers. It doesn't really have a name. They celebrate by going outside and having where they all go and eat at one another's houses and talk and enjoy the fact that they're allowed out of their houses after dark. It's called Dark Festival, which seems like such an unseemly name until you realize that it's just celebrating that they're allowed to mingle. It's fairly important to them.
I'm rolling sense motive.
She lied about something so big.
Because
Damn,
that
he's
sounds
telling the truth. He's telling the truth, but he's obviously trying to avoid you asking many questions about it.
I think you need to back off this celebration. It's really not suspicious.
Well,
Well, well, the reason why I did sense motive is because it sounds very similar to the nightly. Is because his description sounded way too similar to the nightly celebrations.
I say, let's finish up and go, take care of some of our business out in town. What do you say?
Yeah, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Siegfried might as well have asked this lady, hey, you have any werewolf parties in this joint? Real fucking subtle. He should have rolled a diplomacy check for that one.
Which, Manfred escorts you to the gate, which party was like, oh my god.
We know where the gate is!
So you arrive at her ladyship insisted that Manfred escort you.
That's punishment.
So you arrive down in the village. You arrive down in the village about lunchtime.
I tell you. Damn it, Siegfried, look what you made her do.
Do not blame this on me.
I have to.
Blame this on Frederick.
And
first rule of leadership, everything is your fault.
Oh,
Dalgorf's Tavern and Melgon's Gasthaus are what's serving lunch to travelers.
Dalgorf's I'm sorry?
Dalgorf's Tavern and Melgon's Gasthaus are what's serving drinks.
Okay.
Germanic for guest house.
Ah, okay.
Or the Blue Goose Inn.
Fuck Blue Goose Inn.
Yeah, really.
Let's go to... You guys pick a place that you think is going to give us the most answers. By the way, as we're walking, I want to point out and say, does anybody else have a strange vibe all of a sudden that maybe our Baron's father was killed by not the Baron, but
oh my god!
Wife?
You think she ate him as a werewolf?
Probably during that prima nocta ceremony thing there, she might have changed and had herself a full course meal.
Yeah.
You know what? That's even better.
Except the old Baron died of illness.
That's what he told you.
Well, he said a sudden but easily foreseeable illness.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly my point. I'm just not sure I understand why you find this odd. But let's go and let's just ask some questions about the previous Baron. I'd like to know how he was received by the other folk as compared to this gentleman.
So which one are you going to? You going to the tavern or the guest house?
The tavern.
All right. First thing you notice is the tavern's kind of nice. You were half expecting it to be, a little crappy, but it's actually pretty nice. I mean, Dogorf and his wife seem like nice people.
Mm-hmm.
And lunch is pretty good. I mean, it's stew, but it's boiling, and it's obvious that Kivana, who
suddenly
is
my
woman,
entire freaking the entire goddamn map and everything went out.
Really?
It went out or went black.
When like it just.
No,
Oh wow! Oh snap!
No,
Something went wrong when displaying this web page.
Not enough memory to open this page is what mine's saying.
Mm.
Huh.
That's weird.
It could have been disconnected.
Well, he says not enough memory. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the map, and it says you added the map or something like
Yeah, now it's showing. It changed over to show my Twitter.
that.
The fuck?
Let me go ahead.
Hooray!
Let me go to roll d20 again and re-reload it.
Sean King
All right.
does not
Yeah,
understand
just-
economics.
It probably logged you off. Try to re-log into
Yeah,
the roll
because you're not on the
d20.
screen anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Well, I'm probably gonna be calling it a night pretty soon because it's getting
Actually,
late. But
it's just rolling all over the place for me. I'm gonna reload it too. It's just going back and forth.
I am going to ping because I found us.
Really. I don't see it because I have not loaded in yet.
Dude. This is the worst form of sonar ever.
yeah, it's loaded back up now. Have a good night, Destroyer.
Alright.
Like I said, I'm starting to get tired as well, but
Wow, none of my pages are reloading. This is fucked up.
yeah,
Not the
mine
Twitch,
reloaded.
not the YouTube, not the Twitch. Okay, there we go. Just trying to reload. Do I need to move my token around? Oh, no, it didn't reload. Okay.
Is everybody having problems figuring out where it is?
Yeah,
Or does
okay,
Will
come
20
on.
crash?
It's...
It probably
Roll
did.
Roll 20 hasn't crashed for me.
Yeah, it didn't me either.
Yeah, I got it to come back up, but all right.
Kivana is the wife of the innkeeper Dalgorf. She seems like a nice enough woman.
Hey, what are you guys bellyaching about?
Conservatively
So, we are
dressed. She mostly stays in the kitchen. You know, comment on that as you will, but that's fairly common. Her husband Dalgorf serves mead that's brewed here in the town, and basically it's a really good lunch. You can hear the blacksmith hammers ringing.
Yeah.
Yeah, animals over in the stables. It looks like a typical village, if a bit richer than you're used to. But that is something you've been noticed, that people seem to be a lot more wealthier than, you know, where you came from.
It's a wealthy town, that's all. So, well, let's start asking people questions. Let's find out how. I want to find out about the previous Baron.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm tired.
It's all right.
And what's this woman's name again?
Kiva. Kiva?
Eva. How you doing?
She's, let's see, Kivana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she smiles and says, "Doing well. How are you enjoying our town?"
Oh, I'm having a grand old time. But I just spent the night over at the Baron's. Spent some time talking, and he's a nice guy.
Yes, he does keep to himself.
That he does.
Yep.
Do you know anything about the previous Baron?
Oh,
his father.
Him.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just curious, you know, how do you feel about the old Baron?
He's probably why you were sent to our village, Knight.
Probably. What do you say?
He was, which she looks and sees her husband isn't in the room and goes, he was a sinful and evil man.
Really? What did he do?
Not appropriate to speak of.
Ma'am, I am a knight of the church and a veteran of the Crusades. Anything you tell me, I guarantee it's not going to make